and get the best music and sound effects for your videos.
What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sport TV. I am your host, Edwin. And where do all fights start? Round one. We got an amazing show for you here today. So let me get set up here. I wasn't gonna go on, but my boy Armando talked me into it, I guess. And then I told him I wasn't gonna go on, and then I hopped on. So I hope he hops on. So anyway, we're gonna talk about this little debate here I had with KO Boxing, and let me see if I can get away with raising this up a little bit here today, because apparently when I came out on his show, I was real low. So I don't want to sound like that. Let me know if you guys could, have a problem hearing me ever low or anything. What's up, front line? Let Armando know that that I'm on. Because I told him I wasn't gonna go on, and now I feel bad and shit. And I didn't even call him. I was like, let me just hop on. So let's get right into this episode here. I just hopped on a KO boxing. I didn't even call you guys to tell you, man. It's just kind of a little spontaneous. I saw that he was going on. I hit the link. I was like the first in the line. I said, well, let me just hop on right now. Yeah, I just made the call. Yeah, I called you guys. I had to call the squad. Armando, you in the building? There you are, baby. How you doing? Yes, yes, yes. Yo, let me know that you guys hear my sound effects. All right, you guys heard the bell and the clapping, because they've been acting up, my sound effects and everything. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it. This little debate I just had with KO and everything. Let me just pull up my channel here, and I just want to hear from myself if shit's working. Ah, I can't find it. But anyway, guys. Yeah, listen. Armando was in the building, man. Armando was in the building with me on KO Boxing. And we went in on a debate on Tank Davis and everything. And look, for as much as I like Tank Davis and everything, I wanted to debate with someone that knows Tank Davis, right? And knows about him at least. And so we went on and we started going in on the debate. He gave me the floor. You know, I was the visitor. He had home field advantage. So he had me go first. So I set the course of the debate. And I wanted to set ground rules early in the debate. So if you go back and you watch the video, I tried to establish that if you were going to argue headlines, I wasn't going to argue headlines with you. What I was going to argue with you was his record and what the man did. Now, that's what I wanted to argue. Okay. He's the one that referenced Hall of Fame just before I got on the show. But when I started the debate, my debate was he's the biggest duck in all of boxing. Not that he's going to get into the Hall of Fame, right? So we go on in the debate, and I pointed out all the things that Tank Davis just hasn't accomplished in the sport of boxing, meaning that he did beat a champion at 130 pounds, Jose Pedraza. But if Jose Pedraza is the biggest name on your record, then there's a problem here. What other name at 135, where he's claiming to be a two-division world champion, and that he said he was going to go into the Hall of Fame, Tank Davis. And I said, how? Is he going to buy a ticket? Because that's the only way he's going to get in. He's not going to get in by his accomplishments. He still hasn't fought a champion at 135 pounds, and he could not argue those real points with me. What he decided to do was say how other fighters view Tank Davis, how famous he is, how his popularity is much more than other. Well, I never argued any of that. I told him I didn't want to argue headlines. But since he doesn't have anything else to grab, he doesn't have any facts, you know what he has the audacity to say about Tank Davis? Why didn't these other guys send him an offer? His entire argument about Tank Davis and how famous he is, well, that's admitting he's the A side. How is the A side not sending them an offer? How are you trying to turn it around and now say it's their fault for not sending the A side an offer? You're supposed to be sending them all offers. So I went on and said, oh, what is this? Just misfortune in Tank Davis's career in his last 10 fights. This is not just this one fight we're talking about. That he's ducking people. We're not talking about one particular fight. Let's keep in mind 10 fights. Why hasn't he fought any big name? Not one. Then he says that all these fighters made their biggest payday fighting Tank Davis. Well, that wasn't going to be hard to beat. When their last fights, they fought for virtually peanuts. Not one fighter Tank Davis fought, right? Coming into the Tank Davis fight made over $1 million. Not one of them. So if you treat them good, give them $3, $4, $5 million, that's 5 times, 4 times the amount they ever made. Wouldn't it give you the impression that he paid them? Well, what did Tank walk away with? That's peanuts. You just took a guy that his last fight made like real low money, $300,000, $100,000, $600,000. Their last fight. By giving them 4 times their last fight, it might sound like, wow, he really paid them. But that's $3, $4 million. He walked away with almost $30 million. How's that fair? Those are the peanuts I'm talking about. He tries to dress it up like this guy made the most money he ever made. This guy made the... Of course. Ain't you fighting Mr. Tank Davis, the lottery fight? But why ain't they making $20 million? And you make 30? Why their number is so far from your number? It's not even close. Yet it gives you this perception he's paying these guys. You ain't paying these guys. If you were paying these guys, you would have to pay Tio. You would have to pay Devin. You would have to pay Shakur. You would have to pay Loma. You would have to pay them upwards of 12 million, 15 million, 8, 10. And that would cut into your purse. That's why he ain't fighting these guys. But he couldn't, KO Boxing couldn't get me with facts. Nothing, none of his rebuttals. What his only tactic was to try to belittle my actual facts and sound like that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, by saying that, it like wipes out everything I said, because according to him, he had never heard anything so ridiculous. Oh, you've never heard of facts? You never heard of records? What he actually did? Because that's what I was talking about. But when it comes to Tank Davis now, it's gonna be real hard for KO to defend that man. Um, KO is a very educated um uh fan of boxing. He knows a thing or two about boxing. He's pretty good in his debates, and that's why I debate with him. And I respect the debate with him. I respect the fact that he allowed me to get on and debate with him. Shouts out to KO Boxing. You know, um, he really welcomes all the smoke. Although he can claim his false victories on his channel. He's never going to admit that he lost, right? But at the end of the day, I know that the debate we just had, when he closed up the debate, he had to go real fast. You're gonna notice at the end of our debate, it kind of rushes me along. Oh yeah, I got somebody else in the chat. I'm gonna debate him. Because he had no wins when it came to me. He had no wins. He tried to claim like false. I know when he goes back, he's gonna feel a little silly, right? He tried to claim like Esau Pitbull Cruz was a champion, WBA champion, but Tank Davis didn't fight him at 130, 40 pounds. He fought him at 135 and he wasn't champion yet. Mario Barrios a champion. Tank Davis fought 10 world champions. Out of those 10 world champions, most of those guys he fought for secondary belts. They're not going to count. He could say what he wants, but he's not going to say the truth. Yeah, that belt with Mario Barrios doesn't count. The belt that he got just before he was upgraded to the WBA champion at 135, that's not going to count. The fact that he fought Frankie Ghost Martin in the record books, he is solidified as a 2 division world champion, and you're not going to be able to take that away from him. But the way he got it, he still hasn't fought a champion at 135. He's fought no world champions at 135. The only champions he's fought at 130. That's it. That's what's gonna fuck with his career. But according to KO, he stamps his approval. If you allow KO will walk him in the Hall of Fame and put him just above Muhammad Ali if you leave it to KO. Yeah. On some real like fanboy shit, kind of. Like, because Tank is not that dude no more. And I can't keep sitting here, when there's guys that are going in there killing themselves, daring to be great, to fight the best of the best. There's guys in there that are truly like, yo, listen, I will fight anyone right now. And we're not giving those guys acknowledgement, but because Tank Davis seems to have that it factor and he's hella popular, and I get it, because I never said the fans were not supporting him. He sells. Boy, that dude makes money. That's a fact, Jack. He, if not face of boxing in some people's eyes, but he's damn near a star. He might not be my version of the face of boxing, yeah, but I can't deny his success. No, he's a pay-per-view fighter. Let's get that right out of the way. That is true. That dude makes money. But that's not, I didn't make a sports channel about boxing to make it about dollars. I didn't make Round One Sports Talk to be like, yo, this dude is selling mad arenas. No. I wanted to talk about the most skilled fighter in the world. What does he look like? Who's he fighting? How are we judging him to being one of the best that the world has to offer? Not the most popular, not the most famous, but the most skilled. And how do you prove that? By beating the most skilled fighters. How am I going to call you the most skilled fighter because you just make the most money? That's the definition of why some of us are making these sport channels, isn't it? Because of the corruption in boxing? Because of the favoritism? Because of bringing these guys up and making money of them because they're marketable. Wasn't that the fight that most of us were on? To fight that very thing of putting these guys on pedestals when they haven't fought anyone. Am I right? So how does this work? because he's cool, he got some nice tattoos? Is this where the double standards in boxing truly lie? When he's one of our guys, we got to look past it. Because when it comes to Tank Davis, nothing that his appearance tell you he's soft. Nothing. He looks like a tough dude. He acts like one. He fights like one. You can't believe it. It doesn't allow you to, like, you're like, nah, not Tank, bro. That dude looks like he'll fight anybody. Right? And you're sitting there, you're looking at, you're just like, nah. That's why I never, like, doubted him. I never wanted to doubt Tank Davis, ever. I was like, nah, he's good. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Watch when Tank Davis beats all these guys. And year after year, the years started going by. And I'm sitting there, I'm scratching my head, and I'm just saying, the fuck, bro? Every time it's just a misfortunate of circumstances of why you're not fighting these guys. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, it's fight after fight. I never wanted the Ghost Martin fight. Who the fuck wanted that? I never even wanted Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I didn't want Rolly. I didn't even want Ryan Garcia at the time. I didn't want none of these fights. Yet, at fight after fight after fight, I was like, nah, did you see what he did in the ring, though? Did you remember? And I allowed myself to just be blind because he was fucking good. He was electrifying. He was knocking these dudes out. Then I started realizing, Edwin, ain't that the definition of tailor-made fights? These matchmakers know what they're doing. Wait a minute, Edwin. They're dressing him up. You've seen this before. Snap out of it. And I started to be like, oh, shit. Wait a minute. Whoa. They dressing him up. That's exactly what they doing. And I feel silly. I'm sitting here. I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, let me read y'all chats, bro. Let me catch up to y'all. What's up? How you guys doing tonight? I know you guys got probably a lot to say to me right now. Let's go. I got to move up. Everybody, XL, how you doing in the building? Frontline in the building. How you guys doing? Why are you... Yo, my man, listen. That's what I was talking about, man. When you look at him like, you can't believe it. You're like, that's fucking Tank. You know? I get it. I get it. He's stamped. He's certified. He is. Tank is. When you look at Tank, like I said, man, but you start to break it down in your head and you're looking back at it like, man. And then you know what pissed me off when I snapped? It was just yesterday, bro. The day before, I made a video of it. And this is all coming out of me just in the last, like, 48 hours. I snapped when Tank Davis said, I'm going to retire. I lost it. I was like, what you mean you're going to retire, bro? You know how many fucking arguments I've been in because of you? You know how many times, Tank Davis, I went to bat for you? You know how many times I was like, bro, Tank, come on, man. Look at him. He'll rock anybody. Yo. And then all of a sudden you say you was going to retire. That fucking, I was like, no, you can't. I was like, nah, what do you mean retirement? Yo, I supported you all this time. I wanted you to prove these people wrong. You should have fought Loma 6 years ago. Like, all these rumors about you never answered any of our questions. And you're talking about retirement. Yo, I snapped. I was just like, What the fuck? I was like, no. Yo, that secondary, that belt that he got at 135, that's going to come into question. He didn't beat no world champion for that belt. Yeah, he might have beat Frank the Ghost Martin, but who the fuck is Frank the Ghost Martin? What did he do? He never fought for a world championship. When you fought Eastside Pitbull Cruz, he wasn't the 140-pound champion yet. You can't get credit for fighting a champion that wasn't a champion yet. What you knew in the future, he was going, oh shit, after I fight him, Isai's going to go up and become champion. No, you would have to fight him after he did that to get credit for it. And you're talking about rematching Ryan Garcia? You got no problem shitting on all the fighters that went out there, right? That they bend the knee. So your opinion about all the other fighters, you can shit on all the other fighters. But, and in the same token, you're going to say, yeah, Saudi Prince, give me 150 M's. I'll fight Ryan. Hold up. I thought you said you didn't want to do business with him. By accepting 150 M's, that's business. So what is it, Tank? You got no problem dissing other fighters, but when people call you out on your shit, yo, the fact he is who he is, it upsets me because he never proved it. Where are we in this era? Just because he knocked out a couple people, we need to stamp it. How has he earned it? Where do you see that he earned it? What did he do? What did he do? That's all I'm saying. Like, what did he do? Anybody want to feel free? Talk about it. There's the link right there. But I'm trying to tell you right now, man. I like Tank Davis, man. I think he's an exciting fighter. I think he's great for the sport. I really do, man. But I'm just saying, man, you know, look, I just felt like he owed us so much for these $100 fucking pay-per-views, man. You know how many $100 pay-per-views I bought for Tank Davis on bullshit fights? Supporting him, saying, don't worry, that he's gonna end up fighting the Teofimo Lopez, the Devin Haney, the Shakur Stevenson, the Lomachenko. Don't worry, he's gonna fight them. And I'm here for you. And I'm paying for $100 for these bullshit fights, bro. And you're talking about retiring on me? I dedicated a lot to the dude. And it's just like, we got to give him a pass because he got some cool tattoos and he came from hard times. So did I. But you can't walk around claiming to be the best and not doing the best shit. That's all I'm saying. What's up, my man? How you doing? Let me see you. Okay.
What's going on?
How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. What's going on?
Man, you know, just having a day, a debate day. Today's a debate day. I'm in my debate mode. Yeah,
Man, yeah, what's up with Tank, man? You ain't feeling Tank?
No, man. The problem is, it's just this happened in the last 48 hours.
Okay, what's going on, man? You know,
I'm hurt as a fan, and
you hurt.
Yeah,
Man, you sound like a girlfriend or something. What you mean you hurt? That means you in your feelings. You in your feelings, bro?
absolutely, and I'm not scared to admit
Over
it.
over another man?
Absolutely, as a fan to a boxer, and I'm not scared to admit it because by letting somebody say, "Oh, don't speak your feelings to avoid what you're feeling about your favorite fighter," then that would like degrade me and maybe back me into a corner. But nah, I do.
I thought your favorite fighter was Matias. Oh no, Inoue. Oh no, I'm
No, no, no,
confused.
no, no,
Is it
no,
Tank? You
no, no,
saying it's Tank now? I'm
no,
confused.
no. My favorite fighter is every boxer in boxing. I'm not a fan of a particular boxing. If you ask me what side I'm on the side of boxing.
No, I didn't ask what side you on. I was saying who your favorite fighter.
I don't have a favorite fighter. I don't really got a horse in the race.
You just said your favorite fighter though. You said
Yeah.
I'm
But
feeling
that's
hurt. You
just
said I'm hurt about my favorite fighter. So
right.
you would.
That's a
So
broad
it
perspective in my
sound like you
mind.
was. It sound
That's a
like you was saying. Sound like you was saying Tank hurt your feelings, but I'm like, how you hurt your feelings, bro?
okay. Check it out. Let me explain. I was
Now
a
I'm a good
loyal.
debater. I'm a good debater. I'm not knockout,
Great,
bro. I'm a good
great.
debater. So be
Great,
careful.
great, great. And I hope you're up to it. The way I feel is like when you support a fighter, and when I
Mhm.
mean like my, if you're gonna take my words so literal, you know what I'm saying. Now that I know that you'll do that, I'll be careful with them. But it was just in a broad perspective, as speaking as a boxing fan. I'm a fan of all boxing, so when I say one, it doesn't mean him
So
in
you a
particular.
Tank. So you a Tank fan.
I would be a fan to every boxer, is what I'm saying. I am a fan
Okay.
to everyone, so that's not fair to
So
say.
so
Because
you a
just as
Tank
much as
fan.
I'm a fan to Tank, I'm a fan to every other one.
So that's
So
a
that wouldn't
yes.
be fair.
So you're definitely a Tank fan.
Every
Definitely.
boxer fan, definitely. Every
Okay.
boxer.
What about Tank makes you a fan? What do you like about him that makes you his fan? I'm just curious. I done heard
Okay,
so much of the negative stuff. I just want to hear a little positive. What about him you like?
what I like, he was an American fighter, U.S. fighter, and he represented us.
Okay.
That's what I liked.
What else?
Do I have to give you anything else? That wasn't enough?
I mean, that's all, that's it.
I can go with that. I mean, that's perfect for me. I mean, you want me to write a book? I thought we wanted
No,
short and sweet.
no. You just said he's an American fighter. It's a lot of
That's
those.
perfect for me.
It's a lot of American fighters, though.
Yeah, but now you're gonna change the goalpost. Now you asked me about
Oh,
my
oh,
feeling.
are you a Devin Haney fan?
I love all fighters. What part of that you don't understand?
Okay, okay. So you love Tank. Okay, and you love
All of them,
Devin.
every one of them. If down
You
from the
love Tank and you love
105
Devin. Okay, that's what's up.
to the
I
to
just,
the
you know what?
heavyweight.
I just, it was so much negative comments about the man. I just had doubts. I was like, damn, do you like
What
American
negative
fighters
comments
or
did I say? What negative
huh?
comments did I say?
You were just saying you disappointed in him. You know, you disappointed in him and
That's a negative comment.
what did he do and all this other kind of stuff. I'm like,
Are
dude,
those negative comments?
I'm like, he's an undefeated young fighter, man. Nobody has walked in the ring and left the ring with a victory over the man. You know what I
I have
mean?
you ever heard? Have you ever heard of padded records?
Huh?
Have you ever
No,
heard of padded records?
no, I haven't.
So you've never seen a fighter moved along, manage well, and have like big winning streaks, undefeated, and look like a bum in the ring. You've never seen that.
Have you heard of any given? Have you heard of two man enter, one man leave victorious, and anything can happen? Do you feel that when two men enter the ring, they both have equal opportunity? It's just one of them's gonna win and one ain't.
This is boxing is based on levels and skill. If you're not on my
Okay,
level, on my skill level, then how could it be a fair fight?
check this out. Have you ever seen an underdog win a fight?
Why do I have to put my
Have
projection on
listen,
the guy
listen.
being
You
an
didn't, you didn't,
underdog?
you didn't answer my question. Have you
Yes, I've
ever
seen an
seen an
underdog win.
underdog win a fight?
Yes,
So that proves that any man has equal opportunity to win the fight.
that doesn't prove that, because you can't use that metric on every man. Just
That's
because
not
an
a metric.
underdog won a fight doesn't give you the right to say that this guy must win the fight or that he has a puncher's chance. That's not a real good analogy.
Listen. Have you ever seen an underdog win a fight?
Yes.
My point is proved.
No, it's not, because not every man is the same. Just because you're an underdog and you win a fight doesn't mean that. Why is it that he has to fight all underdogs then? My point is proved. You
So
just
you
proved my
so
point.
so basically
So
so
you're
basically
basically admitting that he's fighting all
basically
underdogs.
basically listen basically
Thank
have you
you.
did
Thank
Tank
you.
fight Ryan? Did Tank fight Ryan Garcia?
Underdog.
Huh?
Thank you. Thank
Did
you.
Tank did Tank fight Ryan
He's
Garcia?
the underdog coming into the fight.
You didn't answer my question.
You didn't answer mine. Was he the
There's
underdog coming
and
into
there's
the
a
fight?
reason for it. Checkmate. Did Tank fight Ryan Garcia?
So what?
Did he fight Ryan Garcia?
Yes.
So are you saying that Ryan Garcia is a padded opponent? Is that what you're
I'm
claiming? That
saying
are you
you fight
discrediting
underdogs.
Ryan? Are you
Did he
discrediting
not
Ryan
come into the
Garcia's
fight
skills?
underdog? You could
Huh?
you could You could switch it all you want. Did he not come into the
I
fight
didn't
underdog
switch it.
test?
I didn't switch nothing. I'm just asking you a
And
question.
by the way, you don't have to switch it because you just admitted it. You just
Did you?
argued
Are you
adamantly
calling Ryan? Are
how
you
all
saying that?
Tank
Are
Davis'
you saying
opponents
that
are
Ryan Garcia?
underdogs.
Are you saying that Ryan Garcia is a padded opponent? That's all I'm asking you. It's a yes or no question.
How could I say that? He
You're
has star
stuttering.
status.
You're stuttering right now.
He
I
has star
told you
status.
might not want to debate me. I got you stuttering. I'm
What do you
asking you a
mean? Debate me
simple.
on
I'm
what? You
asking
haven't
you a
proven a point.
simple. It's a very simple
What is your
question.
point? What is your logic? So
You're
what?
pushing a narrative to discredit Tank's
I'm pushing
opponents.
the narrative. What is your Ryan Garcia
You
argument
just
anyway?
you just
What is
said
it? What is
you
it about
brought up
Ryan Garcia that proves gives validation to Tank Davis? What does
you
Ryan
just said
Garcia's skill level tell you?
you just insinuated that Tank have padded opponents and that
Yes,
he's being
beginning of
managed
his
with
career.
padded
It wasn't
opponents.
Ryan Garcia wasn't one of them. So
Did
what?
Tank? Well, if you're saying that Tank had padded opponents and
I
he
didn't
fought
name
Ryan
any one
Garcia,
in particular. So you
what,
don't got an
I'm
argument.
just asking you because I'm confused. Are you
Oh,
saying that
I hope
Ryan
I cleared
Garcia
it up
was a
for you.
padded opponent?
I hope I
That's
cleared it up for you, and I
yes
was
or
very
no.
direct.
Yes or no.
Bro, I didn't
Yes or
say
no.
anything about no. Ryan
Yes
Garcia wasn't one
or
of them.
no. This
I
is
said
either you
no.
win or you
Move on.
lose. It's a yes or no question.
I said no 500 times. Move on.
All right, cool. So Tank don't have padded opponents. He have
No,
credited
one
opponents.
person doesn't validate your record.
Huh?
One person doesn't validate your record. You only prove Ryan Garcia. How could you only prove Ryan Garcia and give him credit for the entire record? Huh? Did you not hear it or you want me to explain it again?
I didn't say nothing about his
No.
entire
Speak
record. I
louder.
asked you one
Speak
simple
up.
question.
Speak up. Please.
Huh?
When you speak into the mic. Speak closer. Look over here that we can hear you because we can't seem to hear you when it comes to facts. Why don't you talk about facts? Why don't you talk about Tank Davis's real record? Why don't you talk about what he did? Why don't you talk about he has not fought a champion at 135? Why don't you talk about how he fought the fax machine to get his belt? Why don't you talk about those phony titles that he has at 140, at 135? Why don't you talk about Tank Davis and the mysterious opponent that you're holding him so valiantly of no champions he fought in 135? I know in 130, yes, he fought champions. Yes. I'm not talking about 130. I'm talking about 135.
Of course, you're not talking about 130 because you're trying to discredit him. And if you talk about
No, I
130,
already
you
gave
won't
him
be able to
credit for
discredit him.
130. I've given him credit for 130. All the credit in the world. He got it from me. Move on.
You give him credit for what?
130. Jose Pedraza.
What about Jose Pedraza? What did he do to him?
He beat him. I gave him credit. Move on. What else do you got?
Okay. What did he do to Ryan?
Brian's not a world champion, nor has he ever fought for a world championship. What are you talking about?
What did he do? What did he do to everybody who stepped in the ring with him?
Perfect matchmaking will make you look like that.
Who made the match? Who made the match?
The matchmakers.
Who are the matchmakers?
The matchmakers.
Who are the matchmakers? Who are these mysterious people?
Why don't you tell me?
Who are these? No, who are these mysterious people? Got you again. Move on. Next. What's next? Got you again. What's next?
Wait. How could you get me but you didn't answer the question?
I don't have to get you. You're getting yourself.
You don't have to answer the question now?
You're getting yourself. You're getting yourself.
Wait a minute. Who are these matchmakers, brother? Educate
You
us.
tell me. You the one brought them up. You tell me.
Wait, whoa. That's a fact in boxing that matchmakers
Get your thoughts straight. Get your thoughts straight. Get it straight. You the one brought up the matchmakers, so you tell me who they are.
Okay. You act like you made a discovery. Okay, move on from matchmakers. Let's talk about the actual fighter.
Okay, you down 3-0. Let's go to the next topic.
Yeah, right. Down to 3-0. You didn't prove anything. Where am I down 3-0? Where's your argument? Where are your facts?
Where's my fact?
Yes,
Where's my
please.
fact?
Show me
Where's
how
my
I'm down
fact?
3-0. You haven't proved 1 point, my brother, and you're on a live.
You said that all Tank's opponents were padded.
One Tank fact.
You said that Tank's opponents were padded.
Yo, my brother, stop trying to argue headlines and assumptions or opinions. Why don't you
What headlines did we? What headlines am I arguing?
Headlines and opinions and feelings is what you're arguing.
What headline? Where's the headline you just said? What headline am I arguing?
The headline that Tank
Got you
Davis.
again, stuttering. Got you again. Next, move on. That's 4-0. Next.
Are you okay, bro? Are you on meds? I just answered your question.
What was your answer?
What you mean? The headline that you're trying to say that Tank Davis is a great fighter.
What's the headline?
Bro, are you? Does my mic work? How many times are you gonna spin this around, bro? Yo, you claim to be like up for to something in your imaginary world. How are you for what? What was one of your valid points? Please educate us.
Bro, you're talking in circles, bro. 5-0. Move on to the next topic. That's 5-0, bro. That's 5-0. Next.
Wow.
That's 5-0, bro. Next. I warned you. I got you speechless now. You at a loss for words. I tried to warn you before you came on with me. I'm the ultimate debater. I'm the ultimate debater. I'm ultimate, bro.
You haven't.
I'm ultimate, bro. You gotta practice. You gotta practice, dude. You gotta practice. Hey, get out your mirror. You gotta practice, bro.
If you're gonna debate me, please debate me on something, not on nonsense.
5-0. Let's go for 6. Let's go for 6. 5-0. Let's go for 6.
But please stay on the debate, bro.
But remember, you're stuttering, bro. Their subscribers, they're hearing you stutter. They're listening to you stutter. They're listening to you stutter.
You're not going anywhere. So far, you haven't proved anything. You haven't said anything educational. You haven't given the fans anything truth about Tank Davis. You live in a fantasy world, and that you mysteriously are like this ultimate debater with no knowledge. You absolutely said nothing factual about the man, about his record, about his accomplishments. Actually, nothing.
Is it a fact? Is it a fact? Is it a fact that that he's undefeated? Is it a fact that he's undefeated? Is the man undefeated? Is the man undefeated?
The debater I've ever debated on any boxer, brother.
Is Tank undefeated?
Okay. That means nothing. Floyd Mayweather is 50-0, and that's only a personal record in boxing. They don't give you an award for being undefeated. Next.
Is Tank undefeated?
Is he undefeated? That's personal. Next.
Is he undefeated? Is he undefeated?
It means
nothing. Is he undefeated?
It means nothing.
It means nothing to somebody that's hating on him.
That's personal. That's a personal achievement.
Yeah, it's a personal attack. It's a personal attack.
Anywhere on planet Earth for being undefeated.
I have never met. You're the first person I've ever met. You're the first person I've ever met. You're the first person I've ever met that says that a man you're the first person I ever met that says that a man in a professional contact sport that's undefeated and it means nothing. That's hating, bro.
What? No,
that's hating, bro.
What the fuck? I gotta get excited because he's undefeated. What are you
cheering? You're getting excited because you're trying to. You're getting excited because you're trying to pull the rug on the subscribers,
bro. Whoa!
That's 7-0. That's 7-0. What's next? What's next?
So what? What? Talk about something fact, bro. You brought up an undefeated fighter. That's not even a record. It's not even a record. Why don't you talk about something in his career, my man?
So undefeated is not a record? Undefeated. So undefeated is not a record. Okay.
No, it's not.
I really got you now, bro. Next, that's 9-0. Next, 9-0. Next.
No, it's not. Prove to me where you get an award for being undefeated. That's a personal thing.
Next. We're not talking about awards. We're talking about undefeated being his record.
Brother, no, who gives a fuck how you in undefeated?
Now I got you cussing. You all in your feelings. 10-0. Next.
There's 100.
10-0. 10-0.
Undefeated, brother.
10-0, bro. Next. What's the next topic? I got you stuttering. I got you cussing. I got you saying undefeated fighter. That's not his record. I mean, what's really going on here?
What's really going on here is that I'm waiting for you to bring up one actual boxing fact. I'm just still waiting.
Is it a fact that Tank is undefeated?
So what?
Is it a fact?
So what?
No. Is it a fact? Is it a fact?
He hasn't finished his career. You can't judge him on that. What are you
talking about? Fact? Is it a fact that Tank, as of today, is undefeated?
If he's an
See, you hate him. You hate him so much. You can't give him no credit.
An active fighter. You can't.
The hate is real. Ooh, the hate is real.
He's an active fighter. How the
Ooh, the
fuck
hate
is
is real.
he undefeated?
Ooh,
What
the
if he
hate is
loses
real.
tomorrow to Lamont
Why do
Roach?
you hate this young man so much?
Why can't you debate anything? Why
Why is
can't
it
you prove me wrong?
why are you making it your mission to discredit this young man?
What are you talking about? My mission actually is for one peer person to change my mind back so I could see him in a different light and I could say, you know what? They're right. I had take all wrong. I'm waiting for somebody to come up and open my eyes. That's my mission.
Is he undefeated?
It doesn't matter. That means nothing.
So you telling me
Move
a
on.
man in a
Move on.
brutal contact
Move
sport
on.
that goes undefeated is you say that means nothing?
Terence Crawford's undefeated. Naoya Inoue is undefeated. Arthur Bermudez is undefeated. Next, you act like he's doing
Who?
something that
Who?
no one else is doing.
I
Next,
didn't, I didn't act like
next,
that. I
next,
didn't act like
next.
that.
Move on, bro. Get to a boxing point.
11 to
Come on,
nothing.
bro.
Next.
Wasting my
11 to
time.
nothing. Next. 11 to
Yeah,
nothing.
I
Next.
know. I know. I know. I know. I know. It's amazing that I'm letting you go on this long because you haven't proved one point.
What point am I trying to
Not
prove?
one.
What
Just a
point am I
little
trying to prove?
tape and something he did, please. Just anything that he actually did.
Is he undefeated?
Oh my!
You and your feelings, bro. I know it hurt.
Yeah,
13 to
Terence
nothing.
Crawford
13 to
undefeated.
nothing. 13 to nothing. Next.
How are you counting these mysterious points? On what?
13 to nothing. Next.
Where's your scoreboard?
What?
Where's your scoreboard? How do you get 13? How? From where?
Now
From
you
where?
changing the subject. 14 to nothing. I got you. You
Oh
ain't
my
even talking
God.
boxing no more. Now you change the subject. Now you know you
Yo,
fishing. You fishing
yo,
without a
yo,
fishing
listen,
pole, bro. You
listen,
fishing
listen,
without.
listen.
It's put a
Listen,
worm
my
on your
man,
hook. Hey,
my man,
put the worm on your
The
hook, bro.
truth is,
Before you throw it in the
truth
water,
is,
put the
look,
worm on your hook.
my man. The truth
Come on, bro.
is
Come
the
on,
truth
bro.
is, the
But
truth is that I
come
tried
on,
to
bro.
at
Hey,
least make. Chill
hey,
out, chill out,
hey,
slow
debate,
down.
debating ain't your specialty, bro. Debating ain't your specialty.
Slow down. I tried to like even get you to like come up and boost it up. I try to raise my intensity and everything to see if I can get
Hey,
your
the
boxing.
subscribers ain't that dumb, bro. They not
But
that dumb. They seeing everything you doing, bro.
you're not
They
that
watched
kind
you
of man. You
stutter.
don't
They
know
watched you avoid the
about
question.
real
They
tape.
watched you try to deflect the
You know,
questions. They watched you try to
know,
change the topic.
chill
Dude, they
out,
seen it.
brother.
It's
You
too
don't have to
late.
talk over me. You can talk right after me. You can talk. I'll give you your time. I've been showing
They
you
are.
respect and courtesy. You know, I'll give you your time, brother. Don't worry about that. You'll get to say what you're gonna say.
Hey,
I'll never
hey,
cut you off.
hey,
I'm
shout
not
out to
gonna play
Tank
you.
though.
I'm
Shout
not gonna
out to
play you
Tank.
like that, my brother. All right.
Shout out to
But,
Dev. Shout out to all the brothers working hard that put their life on the line. Even though
absolutely.
these bloggers get on here and try to discredit you. I just want to shout out
No,
to them
no,
young
no, no.
brothers. You know, it's hard in this world when you go out and put your life on the line and you got these people telling you you go undefeated and all that hard work means nothing. You know, I just want to give them their credit and give them their flowers, man, because one day
Yeah.
they'll be
Because
retired.
at
They'll
the
be
end of the day,
retired. And I just want to give them they just do. And I
okay.
really think you wrong for that, bro. You know,
Hey, check
on a
this
more
out.
serious note, I know you trying to get your little clicks and make people mad, but bro, you shouldn't do that to them people, bro. We need to clean up that sport, bro. We need to clean up these YouTube channels who trying to discredit these fighters and use all these clickbait titles and turn the fans against the fighters, or we're gonna lose boxing, dude.
Wrong. That's
We're
wrong.
gonna
That's
lose
wrong.
it. We're gonna lose boxing, bro. We're
First
gonna
of all,
lose boxing.
brother, I heard you out. Hear me out. Have respect, right? Hey, stick with me while I stuck with you. And I gave you the chance to speak your piece. So hear mine. Brother, if you sound like you just embarked on a campaign to
I'm
promote
not a
Black
politician.
American.
I'm not a politician, bro.
Excuse me, brother. I'm talking. You sound like
I'm
you
not a
made it your
politician,
mission.
though.
You made your mission to speak for them when
No,
in
you made your
actuality,
mission.
those are my guys. Those are my guys. So how
Who's
dare
your
you
who's
talk
your
about
guys?
my guys? And
Who's your guys? Who's your guys?
another
Who's your
thing is,
guys?
excuse me, bro, stop interrupting me, brother.
Who's your
Because
guys?
I let you talk.
Who's your
Don't do that.
guys? Who's your guys? 15 to nothing. 15 to nothing. Next. 15 nothing. You still in your feelings. 16 to nothing.
I'm gonna have to mute you for a little while because
Have a good day. You lost. This one you didn't win. Good luck.
you don't let me talk, brother. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, right? Homeboy, he's just in his feelings. He's just in his feelings about Tank Davis. He has like a mysterious scoreboard in his brain that he keeps making up. I try to get him to like argue real shit. He just couldn't do it. He's like on the line where he's questioning loyalty. He's like, why are you shitting on these guys and not promoting these guys? Shit, that's what I did this entire time until 2 days ago. If he was just listening to me, right? So my point was like, he can't argue like actual boxing divisions or opponents. He couldn't seem to get past just the guy's impressive being undefeated. Shakur Stevenson's undefeated too. There's a lot of fighters like that. It's just that what he's a fan of is his loyalty. And no matter what the fighter does, we shouldn't talk about them or be critical to the fighters at all. We shouldn't be critical to them, right? But I say, what's a little criticism? Maybe he'll light a fire under his ass and he'll go out there and fight these guys. Maybe he'll want to shut us all up and we'll actually get these fights. And what I want, it'll make me happier, right? And I'll feel inside like, yo, Tank heard us. He heard our criticism. He sees that we're tired as fans and he steps it up. Man, I would be happy. I would love to see Tank Davis finish his career strong, right? But is it going to happen? I've lost my faith. I'm at the point I don't believe him anymore. I don't believe anything Tank Davis has to say anymore. Why? He hasn't shown us anything. He hasn't fought anyone. And all the Tank Davis fans, just like my man that got on, all they got is they're in their feelings. Is he undefeated? And did he do this? Brother, nobody said anything about that. I'm talking about his fighters. Oh, it's Tank Davis' padded record. He took Ryan Garcia. Okay, I'm not saying Ryan Garcia's a padded, but you're going to take one guy and give him credit for everybody else? What about everybody else? He couldn't answer that. He couldn't answer anything I had to say about Tank. And he wouldn't, right? Because that's where the Tank Davis's fans are. You can see firsthand. That's what they're about. They got pushed to a corner where they no longer have anything else to say because they know the general public is right. Like people like me, we're right. We're waking up. We're seeing this. Like, nah, Tank, you're not just doing it. There's levels to this. And if you're going to claim to be a king, well, then you got to do king shit. I wouldn't have mind if Tank Davis was like, I'm a prize fighter. I don't care about the belts, Hall of Fame, none of that. Support me as being a great fighter. I got you. I got you. I got you, Tank. I'll support you like that. But how can you turn around and talk shit about every other fighter? The criticism you're getting for yourself, Tank, wasn't because of you. It's not like I'm getting on and I'm just shitting on Tank Davis. No, I'm going on what he said. His whole campaign is that he's the best, isn't it? And that this guy sucks and this guy sucks. I'm just holding Tank Davis for what he said out of his own mouth. Nothing I criticize Tank Davis is due to him. If Tank Davis didn't say any of this stuff and I came out and talked against him, that would be me putting down Tank Davis. But you can't claim to be the best fighter in the world, walk around and say, I beat him. Shakur ain't did shit. This guy ain't did shit. He's a bum, but not fight none of them. Now you're looking like the cloud chaser. You're claiming that all these guys are not better than you, but you're not fighting them. How does that work? How does that work? Just because you shit talk real good? And that's what I'm talking about. If you were just saying, let's just support Tank Davis because he's a global superstar, a great American fighter, I got no problem with that. I wouldn't be saying shit because I know what he is. I wouldn't have one thing to say. But that's not what Tank Davis is saying. He's saying he's the best fighter in the world at 135. and that no one's on his level, and that he can beat everyone. So I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to hold you to your words. I'm only judging you for what you said. If this was your claim, then where the fuck is it? Why is it in your last 10 fights, I felt like, as a fan and a supporter of boxing, you haven't fought anybody? 10 fights. 10 fights. Who the fuck Tank Davis fought in 10 fights? Rolly? Fucking Isa Pitbull Cruz? Who did he fight? Ryan Garcia. Now, we all know Ryan Garcia is just popularity. That's just a bag fight. That's not a skill fight. He's never fought for a world championship. Who did he fight in his last 10 fights? But the Tank fans already make me feel like, you see how that dude came up? If you speak up against them or you don't go along with their narrative, then I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person for calling you out on your claim. I'm a bad person for calling you on what you said and what you're feeding us. So that makes me the bad guy because I'm questioning what you're doing. I'm questioning the people you're fighting. So because I question what you're doing, I'm the bad guy. So now I'm the bad guy. You need people like me to point the finger to and say, hey, that's the bad guy right there. Now I'm the bad guy. But what you can't do, and you can't come up here on Round One Sports Talk and debate me in numbers. You can't do that. You can't debate me on opponents. You can't do that. You can't debate me on world champions he fought. You can't do that. Right? Yo, KO's like, you cook too. Yo, KO, my man. I fucking love this dude. I'm glad I got your attention. Yo, KO, hop up here, bro. Hop up here. I'll put the chat. Come on, KO. Listen, it's all love, and nobody disrespect KO if he comes up here. Don't no one disrespect him because he's my guest. He has the right to his opinion and to all his debates with me. All right? You treat him equally and fairly. He might not talk like that for me on his show and show me no respect, but I will show him 100% respect because KO is one of the top guys that promotes boxing. And I would be honored if he came on my show. All right? I wouldn't play no sucker shit, bro, with KO. Nah. It would be a gentleman's. He would get his time and everything. All respect, baby. Let me drop that in the link right there. Yeah, the link's in the chat. That's my man. If anybody I would ever debate would be him. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for someone to change my mindset on Mr. Tank. Change my mind. Show me. Come up here and debate with me on this. You know? It's all love. All of it. Nothing but competitive, you know what I'm saying? Debate. The link's in the chat. Feel free. You know? Join the live stream. I listen, because I did cook KO. You know what I mean? Not that I cooked them. I might have overcooked them. You know what I'm saying? I might have stirred them up. A little stir fry, you know? Because he was a little light when he let me put that comment, you cook too. And no, I didn't cook you. I actually burnt you a little. You know what I mean? I overcooked you. You know, but that was on your show, and I saw that you had to keep it pushing when somebody was hitting you with hardcore facts, you know? So I know you had to leave at that point, KO. You know what I mean? You know, before I left, I was like, yo, KO, get up. What are you doing? Why are you on the ground? You know what I'm saying? The debate's up here. You know, I want that smoke. I want it. I want all the smoke. Come up here, baby. Listen, I'm talking shit right now because I'm trying to hype it up right now. Get up here. Come get some. Come get some. I seen the comment in the chat. Let's not act like you weren't up here. I hope he's trying to download the restream. I'm giving him time because that's what he's probably doing. Because I got restream, we got StreamYard, so he probably like, but it's easy. It's just like StreamYard. If you download StreamYard, it's just like it. Click a few buttons. Before you know it, you're in the live. Come on, KO, where you at? I'm waiting for him to pull up. Yeah, nah. On his channel, they were putting all the good comments on recess. They didn't allow one good comment about my debate with KO on his channel, which respectfully, I guess some people would do that. You know, they would shy away because, they want to give that. So, I mean, that's his choice. But he did put all my people that comment on the show, all on timeout. And I can imagine how many it was. Must have been at least 1 million. You know what I mean? Because I'm gassing it up right now. You know what I mean? I'm really talking it. Pull up, Listen, they might not just pull up here because they might feel like, but KO has gone on other platforms. He even went on Blue Blood, so he shouldn't be nervous to come up here. I go to his shit, hop in here. You know what I mean? But this dude's whole channel is Tank Davis. He is KO. His entire channel is Tank Davis. That's why I went on his channel to debate him. You don't go on a channel or debate like a guy like that came on that he had an imaginary scoreboard. He was up to like 15 with absolutely nonsense, right? I don't like to debate those guys because they don't know about boxing. They're just fans, right? But KO is actually educated on Tank Davis. He actually knows about boxing. So when I debate, I said, if I'm going to debate any Tank Davis fan or channel, then I'm going to the best one right away. That's where I'm going. I don't go to these bullshit channels and try to work my way up. Nah, I went to the top dog, straight up. Knocked on the door and was like, yeah, I'm here. That's how I roll. There's no mystery. There's no hiding. And I don't give a fuck if I get cooked in a debate. But you know what? I hope I learn something. I hope I get proven wrong in some of these things. Because my sole ambition and quest is to learn about the sport. The more I watch it, the more I'm informed, the more educated I am. See? So I don't mind losing a debate. You look, if someone comes on and you lose the debate, what does that mean? I tune in tomorrow. I go for another one. What is? It's like if you lose one debate, that person thought what? Let's say someone went on KO's boxing and the guy knew about boxing. KO ended up getting the one up on him. Does that discredit that guy's entire boxing knowledge? Does that discredit him for every other boxer? Now you're convinced of one argument. How egotistical as a fan could you be? You think one way. You mean to tell me you take things for face value? If a person does this one time, they're chalked out of your life forever? Are you that kind of person? You don't have a process of thinking things through, other possibilities, other ways, knowing that when the teacher says something, sometimes they can be wrong, but there's a lot you can learn from a teacher. There's going to be times you don't agree with some things from some guy, but doesn't mean he's not educated in other areas. That would be foolish for me to cut or not hear out a person no more off one debate. Really? That's your thought process. Listen, I'll tell you right now, I'll debate them all. I'll debate them all and I'll speak my mind. How dare I talk about Tank Davis? Really? You're so passionate and he claims me being such a fan. You're up here arguing about a guy you've never met. How dare I talk about a guy you've never met? How dare I put down a guy you'll never meet? How wrong is it? Really? Really? Sound just like a follower. Well said. Drop the link again. I dropped the link again. The link's right there. Oh, Frontline, you dropping the link for somebody on something? Yeah. Nah, KO will never. Well, eventually he'll go one on one. Hopefully he sees my video and he sees that, like, I'm not gonna have the people bash him or nothing. Like, I want a legitimate debate. I'm not one of those type of dudes like them that they need home field advantage and they need all their fans and blocking anybody saying positive about me out the way to give the impression that nobody's answering or saying anything positive about me when they're putting all of them in timeout. You know, the little games that they play. I don't do that here around One Sports Talk, right? I try to be as transparent as possible. If I lose, I lose. But how do you expect to get better if you shy away from all the smoke? How does fuck you think you know about boxing if you're not going up against the top guys that are debating in boxing? Well, you know what? I love the action and I love all the smoke. Sign me up because I'll walk into your channel, knock on the door and be like, here I am, but you won't come on mine, right? Why? Because they're too busy thinking about, oh, I might give them a fan or two, or I might lose one. You sound like these fighters protecting their O, trying to protect a little bit of face or credibility. Not me, man. I put it all on the line every day. Get up here, I turn this mic on and I show my face. I show up. I confront my shit every time like a man. I don't hide behind a picture. I don't hide behind a chat. At least I'm up here actually doing it. So if you're going to come up here, you're going to argue facts with respect. Let's debate. I ain't scared of no smoke. I stand true. I stand on business 10 toes down on what I claim. That's boxing. Come up. Come up here. Shit, I dare you. And bring somebody with sense. These dudes talk about that. What they do is they avoid smoke. They talk around the smoke. They don't just talk about the smoke. They do everything but talk about the topic. And here at Round One Sports Talk, we keeping it straight up. Don't move the goalposts. Stop using everybody else's name to justify your fighter or what everybody else thinks or the bag or popularity. Don't no. Let's not talk about none of that fake shit. I want to talk about real shit. His record. You see, because when you get to the record, you can't mysteriously put up these fantasy fighters that he did not fight. When we talk about facts, just facts. Come up here, be prepared to argue facts. I have a reason why I'm saying this. I have the right to say this. I have the right to say the truth. I have the right to tell the people, and I have the right to bring up Tank Davis's resume, and it'll be in question. That is my right. Hold up. Okay, hold on. Check this out, guys. Hold on. Let's do it. Check it out. This is my right. I cover boxing. This is the sport that I cover. And I have an obligation to bring you the facts. This is Tank Davis, 30 fights, 28 by knockouts, no loss, undefeated fighter, 138 rounds, 93% knockout ratio, 30 years old, 5'5". Those are the facts. Those are the facts. Right? Okay. Hold up. I want to put my little screen up too. All right? Let's go down Tank Davis's impressive record. And when I was talking about padded records or padded stats, let's talk about it. Why doesn't he talk about these guys? Mr. Williams, the first fighter Tank Davis ever fought. The first fighter he ever fought. Well, let's look at him. Here, let's click on his name. There he is right there. These are things you cannot hide. Listen, check it out. Here he is. Mr. Williams, he fought 6 times in his professional career. He got knocked out all 6 times. No wins, no knockouts. He fought 6 times, and all 6 times he got knocked out. That's who Gervonta Davis fought. Why don't we talk about these guys when they talk about the padded record? He tried to talk about Ryan Garcia. We haven't even gotten to Ryan. We got to get to him first. But the guy was all over the place. He didn't know what to say anymore. Right? Let's look at the facts. His next fight, the guy was making his debut. The next fight, the guy was making a debut. As a matter of fact, his first 8 fighters, there's not one fighter on his list that has a winning record. 4-7, that's a losing record. 1-1, that's a losing record. 2-8, a losing record. 3-9, a losing record. Debut. These are facts. He fought this guy right here, the German, Ivan. Well, let's look up Ivan. Ivan ended his career with 72 losses. 72 losses. He got knocked out 8 times. I repeat, the man lost 72 times. When he came into the Tank Davis fight, he only had 31 losses at the time. So that means that this kind of opponent right here, check this out, guys, right? This guy lost 41 more times after facing Gervonta Tank Davis. He lost 41 more times. He has more losses after he fought Gervonta than Gervonta has fights. This is the quality of opponents I'm talking about. Facts over feelings. Facts over feelings. This is ridiculous. Look at how many more fights. Oh my God. This speaks to the level of competition, bro. Jesus Christ. You can't make this shit up. Like, wow. That's a Gervonta Tank Davis ain't fighting these dudes, man. He's just not. Oh man, my thing froze. It won't let me click out now. No wonder it wouldn't bring me back. Yeah, it's not letting me go back to Gervonta right now. All right, what I would have to do is circle out of that. Here, I'll go here and I'll bring it back up. Come on, screen. It's not. Fuck. Yo, we still there? We still there? Damn it, I pressed the wrong thing. Who the fuck is this?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Who's this? What up? Yo. Ring dog. You there? Sorry about that. My screen froze and then I end up getting locked out. It seems like you're having a little issue here, Ring Dog. You still there? Yo. I heard something. Can you hear me? Yo. All right. Yo, you guys can hear me in the chat? Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. I got to set this back up here. Sorry. My fucking thing froze, bro. All right. Okay. It's working now again. So I'm going to screen shave it back. All right. So where were we? All right. So he fought him, right? Where were we? We were on Ivan German, right? He had the 31 losses, right? Where Gervonta Tank Davis became Gervonta Tank Davis, meaning his star status, which we cannot forget or ignore that Floyd Mayweather had a big part in Gervonta Davis's success. Because in the early part of Gervonta Tank Davis's career, it wasn't the guys he was getting in the ring with that was so spectacular, right? It was these fans and celebrities and everybody going to the fight trying to get a glimpse at Floyd Mayweather sitting in the front row. So all these celebrities went to these early Tank Davis fights to see Floyd Mayweather because he was at the fights, right? Okay. So then Tank Davis at that point had to do his part. Tank Davis had to go in there and be the fighter that he is. And he did so. And he did. They started putting Tank up against these dudes. He started knocking them out, right? And here he is. He's back in the building. Let me see if I can bring him up. Okay, hold on. Let me get out of this screen. Let me bring you up. I'm going to transfer us both over. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, brother? Yo. I had a guy come on and he was saying that if he was trying to put on a microphone, some shit that it wasn't working. I think you got to go into your settings and you're gonna have to click on to that. Or if you had your mic connected to another channel or some other software, you might have to disconnect it there to go. I don't know. But I've had people have different issues. So I'm trying to see if that's what's happening with you and if you could hear me. If you could hear me talking to you, if you're calling on your phone, maybe switch to your mic phone. I don't know. I don't know what you're using. But it seems like you do definitely want to come on. You're just having some audio issue, I guess. Well, we're going to give him time to figure it out. I know that he wants to come on. I'll give anybody an opportunity to come on and talk. You know. So, yeah. So, what I was talking about was the career of Tank Davis. And when people went to his fights to see Floyd, Tank did do his job. Okay? I'm not saying, and I have yet to say ever, that Tank Davis is not a great fighter. I ain't never said that. Let me see if my man figured it out. Yo, I can hear you now.
You hear me?
I can hear you.
What's going on, my man?
I got you on two now.
I got you smiling, huh? You
I
trying to
got
get
you
your
on.
revenge? You trying to get
I
your
got
revenge?
no. Hold on.
I
Let,
tried
let
to
me.
warn you, bro. You was
Right here.
barking up the wrong tree.
Okay, come on. Well, I give you the courtesy to coming back on. Let's talk some real boxing here.
Good luck.
Ringo, you
Good
you
luck.
you came on. You came all this way. I know you got something to say. Let's hear it. Let's talk boxing. Talk with me. What's up?
Let's go.
Yeah, like what are we talking about?
You tell me.
No, well, I mean, we could talk about anything. We could talk about Terence Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez and how a lot of people like that fight. I don't like it. I don't like the fight.
Why you don't like it?
I don't like it that they have to cheat Terence Crawford to beat him. It's not fair. They're making
Who's
him up.
cheating? Who's
They're
cheating?
making up. Okay, check it out. First of all, they're dressing it up by Terence Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez's names.
Who is they?
I'm like
You're not using names, bro. You just making up fantasy people.
Let me explain who they are, though. Let me get to that. The people that are putting the fight together. They want to sell Terence Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez for their accomplishments as fighters and big names in the sport of boxing. Right. I just saw this movie. I saw Jamel Charlo come up 2 weight divisions exactly from 154, and he looked sluggish. He himself said he couldn't get into another gear. I see what they're doing to my guy, Terence Crawford. They're trying to dress it up and don't look at the fact that he'll be 38 years old coming into the fight. Saul will be 34. Don't look into the fact that you got to fight Saul in his natural weight division, and you're the one that got to make 2 division world jump. Let's not look at the fact that there has been no boxer in history to ever pull that off. And let's not look at the fact that you're not asking him just to do it against any fighter. You're asking him to do it against Iron Chin, Saul Canelo Alvarez, that fought fighters like Demetrius Bivol couldn't put him down. And let's not ignore the fact that Terence Crawford's power did not translate from 147 to 154, where he couldn't even put down Ismail when he was coming on a 10-fight knockout streak. So all these things,
he didn't have to put him down. He took his belt.
Okay, cool. But all these things, it's like everything's on the side of Saul. How is this a fair fight? How are they fairly saying that my American has a chance?
How is it not? How is it not a fair fight?
Okay, because I'm not going to judge Terence Crawford.
Are they both champions? Are they both champions?
Look, I'm not going to judge. That doesn't matter.
Are they both champions?
Doesn't matter.
Are they both champions?
Yes. What's your point?
Are they both undefeated?
What's your point? Yes.
Are they both undefeated?
Are they both fighting not in the same weight division? Come up
Are
with
they
a real
both
point.
undefeated?
Yes. Move on.
They're not both undefeated. Canelo is not undefeated. You don't even know boxing, bro. I told you. You fell for the hook and line. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Listen to me.
You fell in
Talk
my
about,
trap, dude. This is too easy.
listen, talk about something that actually makes sense.
They
It's
call
not
me
fair
ring
because
dog.
they're
Nobody
not
wants
fighting
these
in the same
problems.
weight division. Then
Hey, your
talk about it.
subscribers just heard you fall for it.
Listen, listen, listen. I'm just yelling over you. So what? I yelled over you one time and
I
you
know because you in your
made a point.
feelings. You in your feelings.
Listen,
It tends to make people yell.
are they fighting in the same weight division? Answer my point. Answer
Let's
my
let's
question.
have a constructive debate without yelling,
Answer
without
my
people being in
question.
their
Answer my
feelings,
question.
without
Don't do
trying to
that.
discredit these young guys.
Don't do
Come
that.
on.
Don't do that. Answer my question. Are they fighting in the same weight division?
Yes,
No, they're not.
they will. The fight is in the same division.
Is Terence Crawford a champion at 168? Has he ever fought at 168? Ever?
No.
What information do you got that tells you that you have data on
Have you
Terence
have you
Crawford at
ever
168?
have you ever had he ever fought at
No, no.
154 when he went up
No.
and took the belt?
Who?
Terence Crawford.
Who-
Had he ever fought at 154 before his last fight when he stripped the champion?
Okay, okay.
Answer
New
the
rule.
question. Answer
New
the
rule
question.
here. New
Answer
rule.
the
You don't get
question.
to answer the
Stick
questions
to
here.
the
This is my
facts.
show.
Facts
If you're
over
not going to
feelings.
answer any of my questions,
Facts over
I don't
feelings,
need to
Edwin.
answer yours, right?
Facts
So
over feelings.
we're gonna keep that 100, right?
Had Terence
I
ever
need
fought at
you at least to talk
154 when he
about
stripped
real
the champion?
boxing situations. I really do. You need to bring up something that's actual with boxing, not feelings or opinions. Because
Can
so
you answer
far
the
you haven't
question?
brought up opinions. What your opinion is.
Can you answer the question?
You haven't answered anything
Edwin,
boxing.
you're in your feelings.
Wrong. This is my show, and I ask the questions.
You're having a temper tantrum.
Okay? Now, listen. At least say something about Terence Crawford in this fight against Saul that convinces me that I can say, you know what? You're right. And I feel better
Canelo
about
undefeated.
Crawford in this fight.
Is
It makes
Canelo
me feel
undefeated?
good. You know what I mean?
Is Canelo
Me?
undefeated?
No, he's not. But
Who did
listen,
he lose to? Who did he lose to?
he lost to Floyd and Demetrius Bivol.
Now, was Floyd in the same weight division as Canelo? Checkmate. Got you again. Next.
Wrong. Wrong. Check this out.
Answer
Didn't
the
Floyd
question.
Mayweather
Was
come
Floyd,
back
had
from
Floyd ever
retirement?
fought in that weight class when he fought Canelo?
Did Floyd come back from retirement?
Had Floyd ever fought in that weight class when he fought Canelo?
Okay, I don't understand.
Answer
what
the questions. It's yes or
No,
no.
no, no, I can't no more. I can't no more because you keep asking a question after a question that don't make sense, and you're leading me down. I'm trying to see where you're going with this, and it's going to
It's not
pointless.
nothing.
It's all
You need to
pointless,
see
buddy.
yes or no.
Brother, it doesn't matter what you're saying.
When
I'm trying to be
When Floyd went
courteous.
up to fight Canelo, had he ever fought in that weight class before?
Brother, if you're gonna come on a boxing show, you gotta talk about
The
real
fans
shit.
are listening. They're
Right? You
listening
gotta
to
talk
you.
about real
They're
stuff.
listening, Edwin. They're listening
Right.
to Edwin refuse to
Right.
answer the question.
I'm not answering your question, bro. It's
Did
ridiculous.
Floyd go up to fight Canelo?
Now I'm asking you a question. We're talking about
Did
Terence
Floyd
Crawford
go
and
up
Saul
to
Canelo
fight
Alvarez.
Canelo?
We're talking about Terence Crawford and Saul and try to
Did
stay on the
Floyd
topic.
go up
Would you
to
stay on
fight
the topic?
Canelo?
All right, bro. I'm good with you. You can't even stay on the topic. You
They
can't
call
do
me ring dog.
I
I'm
mean,
undefeated.
you can't do anything, brother. You can't do anything.
I'm
Like, at
undefeated.
least
Like
stay
Tank, I'm
on the
undefeated.
topic, my man. Stay on the topic, bro. Stay on the topic. Like, let's talk about one thing. Why do you gotta like try to drag
You
me
were
all the
saying
time?
that the fight is
All these
unfair
things? It doesn't
because
matter.
Crawford got to go up.
No,
So
and
I was
listen, we were
asking you,
talking about Terence
was it
Crawford and
fair when Floyd went up?
Saul. We're talking about Terence Crawford, Saul. Brother, at least stay on the topic, bro. Stop trying to be one of those dudes that comes on a show and uses all different kind of logic rather than what the conversation was. I'm not going to allow you to move the goalposts. So I can't answer your questions because it seems like every time I do, you just have another question.
You
That's all
can't
you
think your
do.
subscribers are that dumb.
You sound
They're not
ridiculous.
that dumb, Edwin.
You sound ridiculous, bro. You're
Nobody's
still
falling for your
not saying
tactics,
anything
Edwin.
about boxing.
I
And
asked
then
you
you
one question,
with
Edwin.
4 victories. Get the fuck out of
Edwin,
here.
I asked you one question.
I tried to be nice, bro. But this guy, like, he can't.
I can't what?
I don't know, man. Like,
I can't get you to answer a question? Yeah,
Hey,
you're right.
Can I jump in?
yeah, you could jump in, brother.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, like I would love to kind of join the conversation and just like let's just. I think it's good conversation when we can answer questions and
Right.
respond because I really want to. I'm actually curious to hear your response because I was actually interested in the dialogue.
Yeah.
So to what the guy was asking because that would be my position as well. It's like I know your angle, but there's other evidence that we could look at to say, it's not impossible for this is my problem. People are acting like I'm hearing like a lot of reverb.
Are you?
Yeah, it wasn't like that before when I first got on though. Can you hear
I
me?
don't.
Wait, let
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
see now. Hello, hello. Okay,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
good. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
People are acting like Canelo is undefeated, that he has never been beaten, and that I think that's the problem that I have. Canelo has already been proven to that he can be beat, and as long as someone has already lost and they can be beat, then you can build off of that angle.
Right. Right.
That's what I
Okay.
would say.
Okay. 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 Now, logically, right? I was thinking about the whole scenario. I was trying to give Terence Crawford the benefit of the doubt based on his skill base. I said if Floyd can do it, Terence Crawford could do it. But the monkey wrench in the whole equation is Terence is moving up two weight division where Saul is the champion there. That is his backyard. And what I think they want me to think is that I should view Terence Crawford at 147 and at 154 and say that's the fighter that's going to show up at 168. What I'm trying to alert to the fans, that's furthest from the truth. There has been no man in boxing history to be able to pull that kind of shit off. There's a reason why we have weight divisions for a reason. If you were talking about skill for skill, if you said if we brought down Saul one weight division, Terrence went up one weight division, well then now we're talking. Now you're making it a little bit easier. Why are you making my guy jump up two divisions and your guy sacrificing nothing? Let's not be blind here. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not a fair fight. I'm not saying that Terence Crawford can't win. I got Terence Crawford. That's
So
my guy. I'm just saying he's being set up.
so
And
let
they're
me ask you a
really
question.
yes.
So no one in the history of boxing has ever went up two weight classes.
No,
Is that
no,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying?
no, 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 no. I'm saying the scenario we're in. There's been people that went up two weight classes, yes. But name me a fighter that went up two weight classes to fight a champion with three belts, arguably on a pound for pound list. That's the scenario we're in. Don't use a scenario where a guy jumped up two weight classes and just fought this guy. No, you got to add the same elements into your story. You would have to add that Saul Canelo Alvarez has never been dropped as a boxer. That Saul Canelo Alvarez knows how to manage a fight. He's a really good fighter. Although he lost to the American slick style, it's been 11 years. Since then, Saul Canelo Alvarez has 545 boxing round experience. To Terence
Agreed.
Crawford, huh?
Agreed. I understand those facts. Yes.
So I'm saying it's I'm just pointing out if you're thinking that I'm like hating on Terrence is my
No,
guy.
no, I don't.
I'm
No,
just pointing out that this is not fair.
no, I
This
know.
is
I'm
not
familiar.
fair.
I know you're not a Terrence Crawford hater. I'm not. I'm having. I'm not even coming at you that way. So I just want to
Yeah,
kind of hear your angle.
yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is, so you're saying even though in history there has been scenarios where individuals have moved up two weight classes
Well,
and
yeah,
fought and
yeah.
has been successful. You're saying,
Uh,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I'm saying some have been successful and many has not been successful. You're saying you have to look at it because it has to line up to exactly of what Canelo is in all of his accomplishments and all of his rounds and the fact that he's a champion, the fact that, you're saying because no one has ever been like a Canelo, it won't. You saying it can't mix?
Well. If he pulls this off, that's
Yeah.
it. Terrence is the greatest fighter in the world, in my eyes. He pulls some shit like that off, okay? That does it for me. There's no
For sure.
argument from you, like right. But there's another problem to this that we're also not seeing. Why are you fucking with boxing? This is the very thing I criticize all these boxers for doing. Stay with me, right? If
Yes.
Terence Crawford goes up and fights Saul and he wins, is he prepared to defend the 168-pound titles? Why are you playing with these belts? Why are you fucking with other men's careers? Ask the men at 168 that are waiting in line. There's another scenario in boxing that we all criticize these boxers. Why are you fighting this guy, that guy? Why are you bringing this guy up? Another situation where you're fucking with boxing again. And because of the two names, we got to make exceptions. We, as the fans, say, no, now we want it. But these are the things we talk about, the bullshit, because he's not going to defend those belts at 168. He's probably going to ride off into the sunset. And what does that do?
So then my response to you would be, even if he doesn't defend the belts at 168, it's not like Canelo being in that weight division is also giving the fans the fights that they want at that division. So,
So it makes
in my
sense.
opinion, I would say I think that Crawford does. I mean, I personally want to see the fight only because I want to see. I just want to see him in a very, very. I want to see the Goliath. You know what I mean? I want to see the person who is the super underdog, who is super doubtful. I want to see that. The same way that people wanted to see the Mayweather and Canelo. Mayweather moved up.
Let's not forget, brother. That was no. That's just because Mayweather won that fight. Okay, let's not forget that all the Mexicans set 36-year-old Floyd Mayweather up, but they didn't know that Floyd Mayweather was him. They thought 23-year-old Saul Canelo Alvarez was going to beat him. And after he beat him, you know what they said? Saul is young, green. Bullshit. He was a
Of course,
world champion. He had over 33 professional fights. How much
correct.
more experience do you need? And Floyd whooped that ass. But let's
So
not dress it up. Like
no, no,
they didn't try to bring Floyd back to try to beat our American champion. Let's not
I
try
know.
to like look
No,
that
I'm
that
agreeing
wasn't a
with you.
setup. And Floyd fucking spun it on all of them
I
and
know
beat
I'm
all
agreeing
of
with
them.
you.
And Floyd showed them that skills pay the bills.
No, I'm
So let's
agreeing with you.
like and let's not look. They can't get Floyd. He's retired. The Mexicans are mad. You know what I'm saying? They want get back. Who they gonna set up? Terence Crawford.
And
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 bro,
and so and like, sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
no. And what I'm saying is look, brother, I agree with you, bro. If look, I said this a year ago about Terence Crawford. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I think my champion lost a step. He's not switching from righty to lefty as fluent. I said that a
What
year ago.
What are you basing that?
My
What was you
man is
basing that
still.
on?
It was just like he didn't look as fluent like in his last three fights just before leading. Like the arrow was a dominant performance, but I started seeing like he wasn't switching like that. Not like look. When I used to watch Terrence in the back in the day, the announcer had to remind me that he just switched. That's how slick he was. He was
So
fucking nasty.
so I
And
so
I'm looking at it and I'm saying, Father Time's undefeated. He's just,
I
he's
can
just
respond
not
to
like,
that.
yeah.
So my response to that is this, though. Terrence Crawford is a very see. There's multiple dynamics here. Let me give you an example of what I mean by this. When you are too good, okay, when you're in an environment where you're already hated, and
Mm-hmm.
then you express at the highest level of what you can do, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that makes people more apprehensive to want to get to deal with you. So
True.
sometimes you have to fool the world to actually get into the position that you want. Now, a perfect example of this would be Errol Spence. Now, you as a hardcore and you knowing what you look at, of course you knew that Crawford was going to do something nasty to Errol Spence. I knew that too. But we were somewhat of the minority. Okay. So what did Crawford have to do? He had to play coy. He had to lower his gaze to some degree, lower his talent to get the fight. And when the contract was signed, what did they say? You fucked up, right? you know,
Mm,
you heard the worst thing that Errol Spence ever did was sign that contract. The reason why is sometimes you have to play possum to get what you want.
I get it.
Mayweather did it to Canelo. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought, like a lot of people thought, that Canelo was going to. I felt Canelo was going to lose, but I thought it was going to be a very close fight. I was blown away to see that masterclass that Mayweather put. Why did I say that? Because guess what? If you remember, we people were saying Mayweather kind of went into a different style of fighting, and he's a runner. He's not pretty boy Floyd. He's just money Mayweather. So people really thought the Mexican was going to be the perfect opponent to actually give him that work, and it didn't happen. And he
Yeah,
fooled the world.
yeah, that's the thing. That was the goal and the kind of man Floyd Mayweather made himself. Who is gonna be the country to
Uh-huh.
beat him, to defend them? And Mexico definitely shot everything they had at him, from the Oscar de la Hoyas, you name it, and they
Yeah.
couldn't beat him. The Garcias, you name it, and they couldn't beat him. But I just see that there's a rich rivalry in boxing. I love the Mexican United States rivalry. I
I love it.
respect it. I love I respect my rivals, and but I will pop shit and talk um in fair rivalness competition and stuff. And I just think that it was just too much. They're stacking the card again for their Mexican guy again, and they're daring our guy to be great. Why is it that our guy got to sacrifice so much? Just to prove, like Terence Crawford saying yes to everything. So what if he pulls this off? But I mean, they made him like so, and then they don't want to talk after like Terence pulls this off. If he does, God willing, they're not going to give him credit for everything he said yes to. They're not going to show the unfairness, the reality of
Of
what
course.
this. They're not, and they're not going to give him his flowers
But but
because
but go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it just seems like, look, for years, Terrence has done some remarkable stuff in boxing, and they've always seemed to look past him. And he won the 4 belts. They gave Fighter of the Year to Loma that year. It's always he's doing why does he have to always like do these remarkable shit so
Well,
that the world will give him recognition? Why?
you got to
Why can't
realize
he
though. You got to realize this. Some people get their recognition once they leave. Terrence Crawford is going to probably go down in history. I can see Terrence Crawford getting his flowers in the way that you're talking about, literally after he leaves the sport and a few years down the line, because I think sometimes when you're great and you get so much opposition and you don't get the fair. Yeah, I get you. I would love to be able to see people glorify him in the moment, and that's why it's people like you to kind of represent that, where you're making it fair and balanced and you're giving that individual credit. But I think Terrence Crawford is going to be exalted after he leaves the sport, and very similar. And I know people may disagree. Very similar to like LeBron. When you go to boxing, I mean, LeBron has done. There's so many accolades, and it's just he doesn't get the credit, and but at the end of the day, I believe he will be memorialized, after he leaves the sport. So I agree with you. I'm just saying, don't be surprised that that moment that you said that Mayweather proved that he was actually him. That also Crawford is that this is Crawford's Mayweather moment, in my opinion, to really show the world, and that's why he said, "Look, y'all thought what y'all saw that this ain't because and and I saw what he did in the Madrimov fight. To be honest, I like me personally. I love how he played that fight because this is what I know.
That
If
was
he
a
would have,
chess match.
yes, but here's the thing. I also know if he would have went out there and did what people are comfortable knowing what he does, I think I don't think he would. I don't think he would get the Canelo fight.
Can I describe that to you?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Coming into the fight with Israel Majamov from the first round, the first bell that rang, Terence Crawford, I think, right, looked at his record. Ismail came into the fight, 10 fights. He had an extensive amateur record, 300 plus fights, whatever. But he knew that he didn't have professional experience, okay? And professional boxing is totally different. I think that Terence Crawford in the first 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, Terence Crawford was trying to set him up. He was setting traps and he was testing his boxing IQ. He was seeing if he would fall for anything. When Terence figured out that he was much smarter than what he thought, he kept parrying Terence's jab. And the one thing that Ismail kept doing, he kept him in front of him. So every time Terence swung, he swung right over. So Terence saw he was quick on the trigger and he couldn't just walk in the front door. So he started realizing he would have to create his opportunities in the ring. So Terence Crawford started pushing the action. That was, and that speaks to his ring IQ. He didn't let the fight continue the same way. Terence saw he needed to make adjustments and he did so. You see? But, you know, it was a challenge and it was a real test match, but I can't avoid Ismail only having 10 fights and being able to stand up toe to toe with arguably the pound for pound greatest fighter in the world. And I think it came to Terence Crawford moving up just one weight division, whether he wants to admit it or not. He couldn't be Terence Crawford like at 147. I
Let me
think if
know when I
he
can respond.
yeah, I think I really believe that if he felt like he can like really move the way he was moving, he would have took different chances. Go ahead, brother.
So once again, here's an example of where the triangle theory doesn't work, meaning that what works for one does not work for the other. So here's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
The element of surprise will always have an advantage for a moment. What do I mean by that? Madrimov came in with an entire different fighting style that he's never done in any of his previous fights. That's number one. Which just shows to Madrimov's game planning, discipline, and all of that. I got to give him credit for that. Terence Crawford, being highly intelligent, did exactly what you said. Once he saw that Madrimov wasn't falling for certain things, Terence Crawford decided the type of fight he was going to have. Because here's the thing. If I step into a new division, I'm not going to take unadvised risk in new territory. I am going to have to now think my way through this fight. Now, Madrimov, this is where I can't give him the Madrimov for me being the person in that division, a champion in that division, being bigger, et cetera, et cetera. He also understood that he had a lot of respect for the younger guy coming up, younger weight, coming from a lower weight class up. Like I was saying, okay, Madrimov, I love all the feints. I love the what you were doing with the with the jab or the right or whatever it was. I love that, but show me your dominance now, Madrimov. And that's where I felt like Terence Crawford said, I'm gonna work this fight, but I'm not going to get overzealous and I'm not gonna try to prove anything for the audience because I have a goal in mind. My goal is just to get the belt so that I can move closer to my goal. I don't think that fight was a defining fight for Terence Crawford. If you notice, go look at that fight. When Terence Crawford hit Madrimov, what did Madrimov do? Clinch. Why is he clinching? Why? Because those hits to the body hurt. Well, people don't see. If you go look at that fight, whenever Terence Crawford touched that man felt those hits and he immediately would retract or try to clinch, or it was very bizarre. And that's two more obviously, of course, the later rounds, of course. But so I don't think Terence Crawford intended to say, I'm gonna have this kind of fight. I'm gonna have a fight where I'm just gonna get the belt. I'm gonna do just enough, but I'm gonna preserve what I got waiting for people. That's how I feel about that fight.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you think it would be, and I'm talking legacy wise here, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think it would be better for him to go after Saul and beat him at 168, or you think it would be better for him to go for all the belts at 154 and be the first man in boxing history to solidify all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions? Do you think it would be better for him to do that?
So I think, and I'm gonna answer this totally honestly. I think either route would be great. Either route. I think going
He can't do both. He can't do both.
okay. I'm gonna go the Canelo route, and the only reason why is because, the only reason why is because people already believe that this is an impossible fight for him to win. That's the only reason why. I just love to see people prove other people like wrong. I think it's amazing to, like you said yourself. You said if Terence Crawford pulls this off, he would arguably be one of the best of all time.
Okay. The reason why I would say that, right? Okay, because of the facts. Because I only bring up facts and what's on paper here, right? This is what would be at stake. Terence Crawford already has 4 divisions. He's already conquered 2 of them, all 4 belts, jumping up 2 weight division to beat Saul that only has 3 belts, but it would be 5 weight divisions. And then you would have to add on the extraordinary weight jump. You would also have to tack on that Saul is a Hall of Famer fighter. He is definitely a Hall of Famer. You would also have to tack on, all these elements are going to solidify his claim. It would be an astounding thing to do. Now, yeah, there's a lot of things that are going to attach to him if he pulled some shit like that off. Now, the 3 division where it would say that you would look back in history when you walked into the Hall of Fame. If I looked up at the wall and I saw Terence Crawford, 147, all 4 belts. 140, all 4 belts, 147, 154, like that, all back to back in a row. That would look really fucking astounding. Like he's the first man to do so.
That's real.
What happened is, you see, what makes a person unique is that no one ever did what you've done. That what makes you rare. When he first did that and walked into the room, 6 months later, Naoya Inoue did it, became the second man in history to unify all 4 belts. Then Usyk did it. Now the room's getting a little crowded. You're not as rare as you once were. Other men have done it. So what makes you rare, your accomplishment, what makes Mayweather, my guy, so dominant is all the world champions that he fought. There are other arguments, and rightfully so, that other people have done other shit. But that's his claim to fame. You understand? Get your own. He has his own. Mayweather can't walk into Terence Crawford's room. No, because he's never been undisputed. But there's already people in the room with you, brother. By you jumping up 5 weight divisions, there's already people that has 5 weight divisions. There's already people that beat Hall of Fame fighters. There's already people that done all what you're about to try to do. But one thing, jump up 2 weight divisions. That's it. But you don't get an award for that. That's just personal. You chose to jump up the weight divisions. It's not like in the Hall of Fame, we're going to give him a trophy to Terence Crawford for jumping up 2 weight divisions. There's no such award. That's your personal thing. It's up to you to win the fight that you signed up for. So now that you're there, your accomplishments, you're still be in the room with hundreds of fighters. But if you stood at 154 and you secured another three weight divisions, or you'll be in the room by yourself.
I get what you're saying.
You understand? And
I get,
that's
see,
just the legacy for me.
you made a good point as far as saying that Terence Crawford was the first to do it, and now in a way, and then Usyk, right? So eventually, I think even with Terence Crawford, if he was to take that route, that accomplishment, I still think that it will, others will eventually get into that room, like you said. But see,
Well,
go
in the
ahead.
100 years of boxing, there has never been a man in that room until Terence Crawford kicked down that door. So
Understood.
how rare that achievement was, and then two other men got in it. The odds of him going to a third and anyone else. Now let's just think about this. Usyk's out the race. You can't go no higher than heavyweight. He can't climb another division. He's all done.
Gotcha.
You can't go backward and reconquer cruiserweight because that's the same division. You're never gonna catch Terence Crawford at 3. There'll only be one. There'll only be one man, Naoya, in a way that possibly. And you think that gauntlet at 126? There's a lot of trouble for that Japanese dude there. Okay, so before we can just say it's easier said than done. Shit, he would have to do some shit, wouldn't he? But Terence Crawford already got a start, and he's got one guy that got 2 belts. You beat Sebastian Fedora, guess what, Terence? You got 3. You're 1 fight away from securing.
You got a point. I got what you're saying.
You see? That's all I'm saying. I'm just for the leg. I mean, look, he's gonna do what he wants to do. I can't lie. That check to fight Saul must look so good. I can't just imagine what that check looks like.
Let me ask you a question. So you remember when Roberto Duran moved up?
And which weight division? Which one are we talking about? 140, 144?
Remember the when he moved up to fight who was it that people thought it was impossible, but Roberto Duran moved up and people
Fought Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes.
That's the fight that I thought Roberto Duran was going into, according to my father and them, that he wasn't supposed to win that fight against Sugar. And it was a 15-round scheduled fight, and Duran out muscled him, and Sugar didn't. Sugar fought his ego, fought Roberto Duran's ego. He tried to fight him, match him power for power, straight, and that wasn't Sugar's fight. The second fight is where we got the famous words, no mas.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those things become like cemented in history. You see what I'm saying? And I think so. Yes. I like what you're saying as far as the doing something never been done before. That is correct. But at the same time, to go down in history, to be a man moved up to fight the mighty Canelo Alvarez, bro. Like,
yeah, but if you know what would sell me on it even more? Had Canelo Alvarez been undefeated, it's not like he's already been defeated. So it's like beating him kind of doesn't really do it for me because he's already tasted defeat. Had he been undefeated, it would be even more like,
I have to agree with you. I agree.
Look, it's a risky fight. I believe this is a battle of our era champions, the best that our era has to offer. Terence Crawford is the best. Saul is the best for the Mexicans. They're both a big draw. No matter what you say about Terence, he's still bringing in people. That's not my argument. I know that Terence has a great name. He's done what he had to do. He had a lot of controversy in his career. As we know, he had this debate with not debate lawsuit with Top Rank and the Corona epidemic with all fighters. So he had some hiccups in his career. So I give Terence Crawford the benefit of the doubt. I believe that this fight right here is based off our giants of the sport, the big dogs, the guys that are moving the needle. And that's what this fight is about. It's about two giants of our sport clashing to see who the better giant is.
I
But
agree.
when we looking at it as a competitive, fair standard, my argument is I will never, and I repeat, I will never allow them to blind me to the fact that I'm at least going to address what you're asking my guy to do. You're not asking Saul to do anything. You're not asking Saul to sacrifice too much from what I see.
I
Right?
agree. I mean, I agree.
So if Terence pulls this off, I hope the world acknowledges the fucking mission, the impossible mission y'all sent them out there to do. And if man, listen, I hope on that day, may all the boxing gods enter Terence Crawford. May he float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I hope he you know what I'm saying? Because, I'm gonna root for my guy, but I just see that, the
Yeah.
unfair nature. That's all. And
And
we'll see what
and I,
happens. I mean, Terrence is gonna do Terrence Crawford shit. I don't manage his career, so it's up to him. But I would have
yeah,
loved to see him unify undisputed status in a third weight division. I kind of
nah,
did.
and who knows, man? I agree with you 100%, but I also think that, and this is something else I think as well. I think that public perception, like what you're saying, is true. Like you made a very good point, but I'm gonna tell you this though: most of the people that are watching, honestly, are a little bit hyper. They're TikTok kind. They don't process things as they in a very deep manner. So
Right,
everything is explosions.
right.
So sometimes you have to communicate in the language that reaches the people the most. And so what I feel is that what you're saying, I agree with you, and I think that's more for, let's say, deep thinkers, people that have an appreciation for the sport and the art.
Hmm.
But what Terence Crawford is going to do, in my opinion, is if he goes up there and beats Canelo Alvarez, it's almost like he's going to shock the world into appreciating, like appreciating like something that is rare at some point.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is me being straight up. Like, I wasn't really a hardcore Mayweather fan, but I became appreciative of Mayweather after he retired, because it was like it's like I realized, like, man, I'll never see nothing close. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you start to
right,
realize,
right,
like, you get me?
right.
Like, that's what made me
Yes, I
appreciate Mayweather more,
I
is by
get you.
realizing
Yes,
that it's not like I'm looking at 10 Mayweathers around here. You know what I mean? No,
right,
it's
right,
he
right.
was special. He's special. You know what I mean? He's special.
Yeah, I've been that guy where I stumbled upon somebody or felt some way about somebody, and then I saw him in a different lens when I learned about that particular sport, and then
Correct.
they left the sport, and I was like, "Damn!" Like I didn't appreciate. He was here the whole time, and now
Yes.
I'm stuck watching reruns of the guy, and now I'm like, man, was he dumbing himself down to make these guys think they had a chance because they were like, no one's gonna fight you, kid, if you don't make them think, get a bloody nose every once in a while or do something, because these guys ain't gonna fight you.
And
And
that's why I said what I said earlier. Like,
yeah,
I've experienced that. Like, you sometimes, unfortunately, man, the world don't appreciate greatness like in
yeah,
the moment. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So with all the crap Terrence Crawford had to go through, like, just think about that. Like, you
yeah.
got to show some vulnerability, man, sometimes, to get people to think they have a chance.
That's
And
why
that's
I
the,
understood exactly what you were saying when you said that. I
yeah,
understood exactly where you were coming from when you said Terence Crawford brought him skills down.
Now
Because
I'm
I've
gonna
seen that before.
tell you something, and like I live here in Atlanta, and I have a business here, and this is the God honest truth. Before Terence Crawford, he was gonna fight Madronov that weekend. Um, unbeknown to me, one of my clients walked in for an
Mhm.
appointment, and I was sitting there, and I was on the phone, and I was talking about, oh, I'm getting ready for the Crawford fight. She overheard me, and it turned out she was Crawford's first cousin.
Mm.
She pulls out her phone. She shows me pictures, messages of them at their grandmother's house, and she shared some things with me that made me realize, like, yo, like Terence Crawford in the environment, he's a very intelligent guy, and he understands that he has to move a certain way to be able to get into the position to show the world entirely what he's about, and that's just all I can say. I don't want to say too much in detail, but the bottom line is I don't sometimes you got people that play dumb, bro, just to get in certain circles and to get in through certain doorways, man.
So what you're
That's a-
saying is, what you're saying is, you're challenging Terence Crawford's strategic mindset
correct.
of battle. He
Correct,
knows what
brother.
he's capable. He knows his limits, and you're saying he knows himself so well as a warrior that
Correct.
he's 2 steps ahead of most of his opponents.
Absolutely.
When I break down Terence Crawford, I don't always break down just the fighter in the ring. I look up who Terence Crawford once was. I also know he was a wrestler. When you're a
Correct.
wrestler in school and college and those kind of things, it's kind of a think out of your situation. Got to get out of the headlock, not panic, things like that. When he
Correct.
went into boxing, it shows me that he's not just a one kind of sport athlete fighter. He's an all-around fighter. Just because he
Correct.
doesn't fight in the UFC, don't think he can't do that shit. So what
Correct.
you're saying to me is what I do know about the warrior, Terence Crawford, and I've studied him. I know his warrior mindset, but you brought a different light to me. Now you gave me what you think his battle mindset is.
Correct. And another
How
thing we
you,
need to sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, another thing we have to factor in too, and this you Terence Crawford has said this out of his mouth. Sometimes when he's in the fight battle, he will, this is very interesting. He will intentionally give the opponent the ability to touch him, to hit him. Think about that.
No,
This,
because when he's in there fighting against these opponents, I must imagine he's only fighting against himself. If you put yourself in particular situation, it's because you want to see if you can get yourself out of it.
understood. And also, in the game of chess, in this boxing, if I got it out of his mouth, he will allow you to punch him in. He may give up his stomach. He may give up a few taps to the face. He will allow you to do that because it's a game of fight chess. If I gotta give up something, if I gotta take a hit to give you 2 hits or 3 hits or to set you up, I'm willing to do. It's no different. Listen, it's no different in basketball when somebody's driving down the lane and one person says, I'm going to stand here and take the charge. Because I know when I take the charge, it's going to be an offensive foul and it's going to be our ball. I'm gonna give up my body. I may hit the ground. You may knee me in the stomach, whatever. Terence Crawford is fighting with the understanding that I will give you something so that I can bite off more because I want you to get greedy. I want you to get greedy. And this is the kind of mindset that you're thinking with. And that's the reason why I love the Madrimov fight. Because honestly, I felt like, look, he's like, listen, Madrimov, I'm only going to give you this. Because he understood percentages. He's like, yo, I can't take the risk of doing a different style. Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I that's what I felt like in the Majimov fight. He's like, "Look, I'm gonna fight in this particular stance because in this stance, the most that I can give up is that, and I'm okay. But guess what? You're not gonna trick me, Majimov, to be reactive or impulsive. So we gonna play this game all night. If you want to herky jerk all night, fine. I'll catch your rhythm eventually." And what happened when he eventually caught his rhythm? Things started. If Terence Crawford would have caught his rhythm 2 rounds prior to when he caught it, it would have been more of what the fans would be looking or expecting. But
Yeah,
guess what?
well,
That's a very difficult fight though. But go ahead, I'm listening.
yeah, and it goes to speak to also to there were 2 men in that ring that night. It was a war of mental toughness. Who's gonna get frustrated because who's gonna walk into the door to try to take a risk first? It was a waiting out game a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And it really goes to show you that round by round, these guys got to remind themselves to stay the course. As for instance, I just witnessed a brutal knockout with Jaime Munguia and Bruno. Jaime Munguia came into that fight. He showed flares of improvement in the first beginning part of the round. When he started seeing that he was winning the fight, he diverted right back to the old fighter. And he stood there like a statue. And my man Bruno must have looked at that and was like, holy shit, there's his chin. And he put it on the third bleachers, right? So that speaks to a
Yep.
fighter not being able to keep it together for 36 minutes.
Exactly. And listen, and how many fighters do you see today who are disciplined from round 1 to round 12? It is very, very rare.
Very
You
hard.
don't see it as much.
Oh my God, bro. That is so tough to do, bro. And these guys don't see these things. You see, I see boxing in a different set of lens, and some people might misunderstand what I'm saying, or they might catch me in the middle of an interview or come in from an argument I had a previous show. I merely point out some of these things. Maybe if I say something to light a fire under one of these guys' asses, he'll shut these people up. You know?
Mhm.
And it's like always, when like enabling someone from doing something, I found myself doing that with Tank. I found myself enabling all his fights until like 48 hours ago. And I'm honest with it. I like snapped when he said he wanted to go in retirement. And I went on a rant because I'm upset. I'm upset that I thought you were going to do great shit. And why not? You got all the skills in the world. You're him. You are him. Why are you not doing this? And I fucking lost it. I lost it. I was just like, listen, I'm paying almost $100 for your pay-per-views. Fight a pay-per-view after pay-per-view. And I'm sitting there in the barbershop telling my guys, don't worry. He's going to fight Shakur. He's going to fight Devin. He's going to fight Loma. And year in and year out, they're like, what's up, Edwin? Where's your Tank Davis at? And I lost it when he said retirement. Because I
Wow.
invested so much into you. And the truth is, if this was your intentions all the time, you were only a prize fighter, and I would have backed you. But Tank, what you're saying to me is, and what you're saying to Shakur, you guys ain't did shit. So these are the things that you're saying. So just because I came out and hold you accountable to what you said, how could you claim to be a king but not do king shit?
Agreed.
How could you say I'm the king of this castle, but you don't invade any other kingdom? You don't take any other belts. In order to say that you're better than me in the division, I would at least want you to have more than me. How could we all have one belt apiece? You claim to be better. You should at least have 2. We're
Yep.
even, actually. It would be based on opinion for you to say that Tank's better than any other champion. How? But why? By what measure? If they all got one belt, That would be opinion based. So
Yep.
I'm like, so what I keep doing is like, yeah, man, I actually wanted somebody to come on and prove me wrong so that I can see once again, no, maybe I'm too tough on Tank. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe it's me. So I wanted somebody to come on and bring some real facts. I hopped on KO Boxing today. I wanted him to prove me wrong. I want
Yeah.
anybody to come on, but talk about real stuff. Don't say what other fighters think of him. Don't talk about his popularity. Don't talk about his money. No, I didn't question any of that. None of that comes into effect. Let's talk about what he did and who he's fighting and what I'm upset about. That's all I'm upset about. That he never actually really fought anybody. At 135, he got emailed that belt. He fought Frank the Ghost Martin. Frank wasn't a champion. He still hasn't fought a champion at 135 yet. No one, no champion. So where is it? Just because I know Tank is certified, I think Tank is street certified. I think he's a very tough man. I think he's a cool dude. Um, but I think he's not blowing smoke up on my ass. And he's telling me that he can beat all these guys just without fighting them. Now, am I here to sit and say Tank's last 10 fights were all up to circumstance? It's just never the right time, never the right place. You never seem to get these fights together.
Correct.
Like is that what I'm led to believe every time? And I'm stuck defending you. Now I'm in a barbershop tomorrow arguing Lamont Roach. And I'm gonna say, fuck man. I mean, at least take, fighting somebody like at least I want to see him. And they keep saying, you said that last year, Edwin. And you said that the last year before that for him.
Yep.
And that's where I'm at. And that's what happened. That's what's been going on in the last 48 hours in my channel. That's kind of what happened. And I'm just upset. I'm upset because I thought so much of you.
Now I have to agree with you, man. I mean, Hank is a hard pill to swallow, man. I can't do it, man. I see this is the one thing that I would say, and this is the problem that I have with like internet or social media or things like this digital world. It's almost as if we get so we get so immersed in this reality, this digital reality, that we forget that there are some real things that were very human experiences that we were able to pick up. And an example would be this. When you growing up in the neighborhood, we all knew when somebody didn't really want to do something. It didn't matter what it was. If you felt like you was the fastest runner in the neighborhood and I want like, yo, man, you should race such and such. And if such and such wouldn't race you, it was already understood. Why you don't want to race me? But then you
Because I
must
didn't have
not
my
think
red shoes on that day. I didn't have
exactly.
the red ones on.
Exactly. So look, yeah, correct. So then guess what? What's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen. All right, cool, no problem then. Well, listen, we're gonna race this weekend in. You know what I mean? We're gonna get together this weekend. The whole neighborhood gonna come together and everybody's gonna witness XYZ. If you don't come out if you don't come out the house, they ring your doorbell. You don't want to come out the house. You open the blinds. They say, hey, come on, man, let's go. Oh man, my belly hurt, man. I don't feel too. The
How many years
reality is
studying the Bible? I have this Bible Sunday. Come on. All right.
yeah, exactly. At some point, the excuses are going to people are going to realize, hey,
Right.
you just don't want to. You was talking all that stuff, but in reality, you don't really want it. And and
Thank
and,
you,
and
brother.
it's just
Thank
and it's okay. We got to look at things simplified. But what this social media has done, it makes people like KO find a million reasons, and you're trying to rationalize
right.
the simple things in life.
That's it.
That's
He
it.
wants to flip it. He wants to move the goalposts. He wants to say what other fighters think of him. He wants to talk about his ticket sales, pay-per-view numbers. And I'm like, brother, that's all fine and good. I'm not talking about any of that shit. It's like you want to avoid what I want to talk to you about. Let's talk about how Leo Santa Cruz came up to weight divisions. Let's talk about how Hector Garcia's came up weight division. Let's talk about how Lamont Roach is coming up a weight division. Let's talk about how listen, and it seems like they don't want to address and one of my biggest arguments, I want to know your opinion on this, which just led me to come to this thought. When are we going to go back to an era where the men on your record it mattered the most? Not being undefeated, the O, and
Mm.
a bunch of owls. When are we going to go back to where guys didn't give a fuck if they took a loss? What they cared about was sharing that ring with you and having your name on their resume, win, lose, or draw. The four horsemen of our time, they fought each other. They all got losses. But you know what they can say when they look back? I shared the ring with that man. He's a Hall of Famer. That's a legend. That's a multiple division world champion. Where is it that you can be honored by the men you shared the ring with, rather than saying, I scathed by a career and I was undefeated? What does that O approve? Mayweather is 50 and 0. There's hundreds of fighters that retired whatever and 0. They didn't walk Mayweather in the Hall of Fame and say, here's an award for being 50 and 0. He's not the first man to do that. He probably won't be the last.
That's
Julio
correct.
Cesar Chavez had like 89 undefeated. Like what? Like it's not. That's a personal thing when a fighter retires undefeated. It doesn't really stand for a boxing record. So okay, you're undefeated, but what did you do in your reign? And who did you share the ring with? So what do you think? Is the O more important or the men's name on your resume?
That's correct.
I think this social media thing is, and like you had that guy came on and he kept saying that this guy was undefeated or the O, and I'm trying to get him to show him that that's not that impressive. It's cool. You okay, you did it. But through your travels, what did you do?
Mm.
Where are your rings? Where are your rings? Where are your hardware, young man? What did you accomplish? How many divisions did you move up? How dominant of a champion were you that you're so undefeated? Please sit down. Tell me the story. And when you ain't got nothing to show, and all you got to show is that you got facts to belt, and you didn't fight no champion of date in your division, and technically the only champion you really fought was at 130 pounds, what are you bragging about?
I mean, I have to agree with you, man.
So,
I have to agree with you.
but social media got everything so messed up, and by popularity, that the persona of Tank being the face of boxing would give you the image that he's also doing warrior shit. He's not. He's not. And that's what happened. But look, when we got other guys in these divisions that truly I would like to talk about, and that they're threatening and coming up and moving and fighting. Look, young Keyshawn Davis, he's daring to be great. He got that Dennis Berenchek fight now. I like that. These are men that are moving up and taking steps in their career. Young Xander Zaya, I want to see him, the Bruce Carringtons of the world.
Correct.
I also want to see Jerron Boots Ennis finally fight some champions. Brian Norman Jr. probably eventually. I thought Brian Norman Jr., it was a little too early to fight Jerron for him. I think he needed to back out of that one and give him a little time. That way the fight could be more exciting, more competitive. Narrative in boxing today is we want to see the best fighting the best. I'm like, guys, you guys stop hearing something and just saying it because it sounds cool. I was like, where are you going to get 10 Tank Davises in one division? The best fighting the best of the best. You're not. You only got really in actuality like two good names. If you fight the two good names, you know where you're going to be? Exactly where Naoya Inoue is. If you were to play Naoya Inoue's last 5 fights backwards, we would be getting Stephen Kubo Fulton now. But now we're getting a cancellation from Goodman, and we're getting this Kim dude, a boring ass fight. Why? Because he fought the best after the best coming in the division. There's nobody else there. He ran out. So if you
Yeah.
were to take these guys and say, hey, I want you the best, fighting the best, fighting the best. First of all, you fight 6 times like that, you're probably not going to spell your name after that. Your brain's going to be mush. I don't recommend to do that, right? But
Yeah.
if you were, you're going to run out of guys and you don't have any. But the one good thing about Tank, he hasn't fought none of the top guys. So he has a hell of people he could pick. Right?
Yeah.
They just got to get in the ring with him. But that's my view in boxing. I don't
No,
have a
Good
favorite
stuff.
fighter. I don't have a favorite fighter. I talk about situations in boxing. I talk about all fighters. And if anybody ever wanted to come on, we could talk. We could talk about anything, brother. But my mind works a little bit different where that I start to think and start to like say to myself, wait a minute, I need to ask these kind of questions. I don't think I don't think I should just judge a fighter based off who he once was. I try to tell the fans that about Errol Spence Jr. coming into Terence Crawford fight. I said, yo, he flipped that car a lot of times. You guys remember those hospital pictures? And I try to
yeah.
tell him, I got receipts. I was like, yo, that might not be the same Errol. You guys might be thinking he's fighting the old Errol that like fought Kill Brook. That's not the Errol that's getting in the ring.
Well,
And nobody
they
wanted
were
to look.
thinking it's the arrow that fought Ugas or the arrow that
Yeah,
fought
like
Danny
that. Like
Garcia
he
and the Sean Porter. I guess. Mm.
they well, that was after the car accident. He was better than that still. But if he didn't get in that car accident, he would have stopped Danny Garcia. And I think he would have gave Ugas even a better fight. If you remove that night from Errol's life, he would have stopped Danny Garcia. But after the car accident, you see that he couldn't even like kick it into another
But
gear.
did he stop Mikey Garcia?
Mike. Okay, wait a minute. Did he stop Mikey Garcia?
He fought Mikey Garcia as well, man.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Did he stop Mikey Garcia?
No.
Okay, okay.
The
Yeah,
point
but
the point I'm trying to make the point I'm trying to make is I think when it comes to Errol, I think because once again the digital world, the same thing they're doing with Tank. I mean, they can take something very mediocre or average and just make it look larger than life. And
that's
it
the
and it's
problem.
and it stops people from thinking like look what you just did. You did something so simple. You went to Tank Davis box rec and you said, let's look through his fights. Something as simple as that could really give a really good perspective so that people can understand, am I inflating him in my head? Like,
Right.
I mean, guarantee, is he knocking people out? Absolutely. But then you have to ask yourself the question. Is it designed? Is he in well orchestrated situations that lean more to the explosions and the big
You,
bang that the audience like? I
you
think
hear
so. I
you
mean,
hear
personally speak. Go ahead.
you hear a promoter sometimes say this phrase: "The fight is tailor made for this guy."
Exactly.
And when you hear that the fighter's tailor made and the matchmakers get Tank these fights, yeah, he's looking this dominant. Yeah, he's looking this explosive because styles make fights, and these matchmakers are real smart people. They've been matchmaking fights for a very long time, and they'll tell you if a fight 50-50, and they'll look for you for these kind of opponents. I feel like Tank Davis looks the way he does because he's fighting these kind of guys, you know.
Exactly.
And then when you put him in a ring against a guy that's even shorter than him, Isa Pipo Cruz at 5'3", you saw that he couldn't make the adjustment to fight a smaller guy. He kept punching him on the top of his head because typically he's used to fighting taller fighters. So he
Exactly.
broke his hand on the top of his head because his aim was off. So, and then that was another fight that showed me that if you put him in certain situations, he doesn't make all great adjustments. You know, he makes good adjustments against good fighters where he could read them. He's a smaller guy. He's underneath them, and he's watching them. Leo Santa Cruz got lazy with that jab and threw the punch 3 times. He had
Keyword.
two,
You said
yeah,
it. Lazy with the jab. Lack of discipline.
right. And he saw the same punch fucking 3 times, and he made the right read because his signature punch is that uppercut. He could find anybody's chin. He's accurate as hell with that shot. But when you put him against these guys, when he fought the Cuban Yuri, right? I liked that matchup. It was a good, back and forth. It was good boxing. I saw good exchanges. But I had already knew that Terence Crawford beat the shit out of him, and he had already 2 losses coming into that fight.
Oh, absolutely.
He popped his Achilles in like the 2nd round, and he
And
was
still fought.
basically and fought on 1 foot and gave Tank all that trouble. So
Exactly.
I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm going, no, there's a lot of things sometimes. Like, he hasn't beaten that guy, that Shakur, that Devin Haney, that Loma. He hasn't shown us, and they expect me just to be like, oh no, year in, year out. Nope, I got to go along with the narrative. Just because he's cool, he's got a lot of power, that I got to sell it to you. No, he's him without doing very little. He definitely doesn't. When you talk about fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, and people want to say, Oscar, he ain't him. He's this, he's that. He got women panties on. So fucking what? But you couldn't never, and I mean never, put Tank Davis's record against a champion like Oscar De La Hoya.
Correct.
For one, Oscar De La Hoya is a 6th division world champion. 6th division. And he beat the Mexican of his time. Like when you go to pass the torch from one great, and it would be like Tank fighting Floyd for the Americans. When we want to see out with the old, in with the new, to see if the new champion can beat him. Oscar did that against Julio Cesar Chavez. He proved that he's the next. Yeah, but Tank's not doing that. It's not like he's beating the next great American star to solidify his claim. You just want us to give it to him.
I agree, brother.
I don't want fans to think like I'm shitting on him or hating on him or nothing. No, brother, this is what you did in your career. What are you talking about? How am I hating?
You're just stating the facts of what happened.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just stating what he did. I'm not adding anything. I'm not saying he sucks. I never said that. I never talked about his skills. I never said anything about that. I'm just questioning his thing. So that's where I was with some of these fighters. And I think that in a day and age where social media rules, that we do have to hold some of these fighters accountable. And we do have the right. We're the ones buying these pay-per-views. The reason why you make this money is because of us. Because we travel. We buy plane tickets. We go fight the traffic to go watch you. So if we're asking for these fights, it's because we're your fans. And we're actually buying you that mansion.
That's right.
So don't sit here and say that, like, as fans of boxing, we don't have, the right to call you out on it. We do. So that's boxing for me, brother.
No, good stuff, man.
And that's, I just want people not to get me misunderstood.
Oh no, man, you're good, bro. I hear you on some other platforms, man. I said, let me just tap in with you. I like having just sensible conversations and not all that crazy stuff, man. So
No, not that back and forth swearing at each other and then
I get it sometimes, but
yeah.
That's
I
all.
always occasionally love to talk with boxing on a real serious note, that we could really like sort through some of these things. I like what you brought to the show today. Thank you for coming on. I just want to thank you for coming on and sharing your vision and boxing. And you showed me another avenue of how a boxer's battle mindset and how he sees the battlefield, what he believes strategically, the impression that he sometimes gives in some fights can mislead you, but he was doing that on purpose because he
Yeah,
needed to hit
correct for for some, man.
some, for
I
some.
don't. Yeah, I only say that about Bud only because, like I say, he's a very inside the ring and outside the ring. He's a very smart guy. If you look at just
Yeah.
his portfolio, business wise, look at the relationships he's been able to forge, like Warren Buffett, Turk Al
Mhm.
Sheikh. I mean, he has shown that he is a man of vision and he's a thinker. And when you're dealing with people like that, you just have to consider that they're just not going through their day. He's a family man, multiple
Mhm.
multiple children, married still, whole, all these things. You really look at that and you have to say, okay, he ain't just in there for the bling, for the for the for the
Right.
excitement of just
Right.
popularity. He's not concerned with those things.
No, that's one of the
And
few.
that's the reason why I said,
Yeah, that's one of the reasons
go
why
ahead.
it's one of the main reasons why I love Terence Crawford, and I've promoted him because not only what he does in the ring, I study the fighter in and out of the ring. I don't see Terence Crawford with all this bling bling, smacking his wife, or
Yeah,
crashing his car, all coked out, talking about the cops don't like him. You know what I'm saying? There's always something with my star. There's always something. We in
correct,
America, we train our kids wrong. We give them the wrong message. They go to
correct,
these parties with these celebrities, and I understand you come from poverty and you've never seen these, and they ask you to come out to a party, but you stay in that party too long. You forget what got you there, what bought you that car. And fighters like Terence Crawford, although Mayweather had a persona of splinging money, he was a different kind of creature. He understood the perception of a persona. He knew how to go in there, throw money around, walk out the back door, and go jogging and stay disciplined. Terence Crawford is a type of fighter that every time I look him up, he's either in the gym doing something with boxing, giving back to boxing, or trying to teach boxing to our up and coming fighters such as Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, where he's passing on the knowledge. The shit that Terence Crawford does in this sport, I highly commend. And a lot of people need to take a page out of his books. Yeah, he can get a little, not into training or shape or fighting once a year, but it comes to his extensive career. He's been in the game 20 plus years. So you get at a point in your fight in your career where you should be able to pick some of these massive fights. But Terence Crawford, as an individual and what he does for the sport, I know a lot about the man because I study winners.
understood, brother. Well said, man. Well said. Well, so do you stream every day, or how does it work for
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I go on live like almost every day. Um, I dedicate a day to some like I have Latin Wednesdays. That's a day I dedicate to my Latin fighters. Rest of the days I kind of talk about everything in boxing. I'm starting this channel here, and I want to get a guy that come on and talk boxing and help me educate these fans. I don't claim to know it all. I'm a student to the game. I always like to learn something new. And feel free, you're always welcome. Come here. Sometimes I go on anywhere between the hours of 7:30 and 9 o'clock. I'm gonna try to lock in a permanent schedule and really get like maybe a morning thing going on. But I'm young
Okay.
in this. I'm young in it. I got a little over 18 months streaming seriously. My
Oh
channel's
wow!
only 3 years old. And
Congratulations on that.
and in over 18 months, I've put this together. So I'm a
Nice.
former amateur boxer. My father was a professional, and my roommate was a world champion, Jose Rivera. I hang around with their promotional. I'm not involved with them, but I try to learn every day more and more.
For
With
sure.
them. These are guys I grew up with. You know,
Nice.
and I'm just a guy that really understands the ins and outs of boxing, and I've asked myself the same questions every day. what's the best fighter in the world? Where does he come from and what does he look like? And that's all I want to know, and I
Wow.
appreciate the sweet science. And
What?
that's
Why'd
what
you never go? Why you never went pro?
the streets, other
Uh,
men took saw me and they had interest and the money was good.
I understand.
I made bad decisions. But yeah, man, I tell my fans, I'm honest with them. They know my story. I tell them I'm the definition of wasted talent, man. I wish I had a dad that, or maybe I probably wouldn't listen to. I was so hard headed, but I fell for the life's traps. I really did. The pitfalls of a young man being out here. By time, like most of us, we realized we were hanging on a corner fighting for bullshit that was just a neighborhood corner that didn't belong to us. I
Yeah.
learned a lot of useless knowledge. Unfortunately, by the time I woke up, I was already older, but I wasn't going to allow myself for my dream or my fire or for the sport to turn off. I can't. I think about fighting every day. And my goal and my mission is to one day meet some of these men and women that risk it all, that they put their lives on the line to lace it up, to give us these ooh moments and to show my respect for them because I love all fighters. I love them all. And from the anyone that even went in there one or two times and got knocked out, my hat's off to you because the
Mhm.
courage that you had to go in there and do that, not a lot of men will, a lot of men will talk about it. They won't be about it,
That's for
So,
sure.
um, I might have not gotten my opportunity, but I'm not going to let my opportunity pass.
Are
You
you are you
understand?
based are you based out of New York or up
No,
north?
Massachusetts,
Oh oh
Boston.
oh oh really? That's
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah. Yeah, nah, I know I got a lot of Cape Verdean friends up there.
I know a lot of Cape Verdean people. They like when I met them, they were the weirdest people. One was mad dark. He said he was white. The other one was dark. He said he was. I was like, yo, what's up with y'all? But they cool, I guess some of their culture believes something. They eat
Yeah.
kale, that soup that's green. The lady
Yeah.
used to try to give it to me every day. Um, yeah, they're cool as shit and everything. I just thought they was like, I was like, how you like white? She's like, but anyway, but if you're getting my accent, I was born in Newark, New Jersey. I'm
Got
from
you.
Newark. I'm from
I
Newark,
got you. Yep.
and my accent blends in with a Massachusetts because I've been out in Massachusetts for over 30 years.
Ah, I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Interesting.
I did my teens. I was born in New Jersey all the way to like 13, 14, like there. And then from there, my mom moved to Massachusetts. You
Understood,
see,
understood. For sure.
a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
people
Nah.
say about my accent. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Demetrius Andrade, he's from Cape Verde.
Oh, yeah?
Yep,
Yeah.
Demetrius Andrade. Oop.
And Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, where I'm from.
Yeah,
And
I know.
we haven't decided, I guess, or himself haven't decided whether he's Puerto Rican or not.
I mean, yeah, I know his father's Puerto Rican, so
Yeah,
he,
yeah,
he
yeah.
played with it. It's
Yeah.
there. So yeah,
Well, brother, listen, man. Thank you for coming on, man, chopping it up. I'm about to end this right here. We're going up to 3 hours right now. But yo, listen, man. Thank you for stopping by. You're always welcome. If you want to stop by or click that bell notification icon when I go on live and
for
come
sure.
up, you're more than welcome, brother. Okay.
Say
I
no more,
build a
man. I'll see you next time.
I build a safe environment where you could come on and share your opinion, whether we agree or not. Just at least we're talking about boxing. You get
For
it?
sure.
All
Of
right, my
course.
brother.
All right,
Thank you
man.
for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Don't forget to give these videos a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. And Armando said for me to go on tonight. And I said no. It was excited. Yeah. Thank you, Armando.